Okay, here we go. What day is it? I think it's day number 4, isn't it? Is that where we're at? Slalom-X, the Playa Surf CBbC. Tenerife El Médano Windsurfing World Cup, and it's a Grand Slam. We've got waves, we've got Slalom-X, but coming up today, after a bit of deliberation, a look at the conditions, it has been decided to go with Slalom-X. Yes, we are going back to the slalom course, and with the way the forecast is looking, could this be the last day of slalom? Could the rest of the days maybe go to wave? Yes, that could happen. Did you see the final from yesterday? If you didn't, let me remind you of the results. And it's no surprise to see Pierre Mortefont in front, yes, but on a different sail, on the Neil Pride now, but Pierre still in front. It was a close race between him, Mateo Yukino and Maciek Rakowski. The positions did change throughout the race, but it was Pierre that got that win. Second place, Mateo Yukino. Third place, Maciek Rakowski. And if we look at the overall results from the end of Fuerteventura, it was exactly the same. So, you know, there's a few people saying, oh, it was a bit lighter winds. It was a bit lighter winds. Well, the same guys were in the same positions. So, interesting that. What did you make of it? Did you watch the final? Again, I have been told to pass on the apologies for yesterday. There was an overheating issue, and that's what was causing all the problems. So, hopefully that has been resolved today. So, these are the wave guys. Obviously just having a little warm up. There's some youths out there, there's some younger riders, pretty much nearly all the boys that have been out there. We saw Robbie Swift earlier, Liam Dunkerbeck was one of the first out. You can just see Tati Franz there just heading out. This is Mike Friedel, Masters World Champion, out there as well. So there is wind. These guys are probably on 5.3s or something like that. So you can see the slalom boys are flying around in the background. So we will be having a look at the slalom guys as soon as it's getting a bit closer to the competition. But maybe we could have a look. I've seen Lohan Jules there just flying around in the background. But let me know in the comments on YouTube where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Were you keen to see the wave guys today, or were you keen to see the slalom guys? Let us know what you think of the action. Are you looking forward to it? Say who you're cheering for, where you're from. Does it make a difference? You can see there's a few people lining up on the cliff as we got one of the local kite surfers having a bit of a run there. But you can see out the back, I think that's Bruno maybe out there on the S2 Maui sails. Looks like we got Gonzalo over in Chile tuning in. Oliver says, looks windy. I think it's windy. I think we're going to have some good racing. Flagpole ready to rock. Few people running around, trying to get ready. We should be in, like you say. All the guys on the 5.0s, 5.3s are flying around. Steph says Slalom-X seems a bit flat for waves. Yeah, and that is basically what's happened. Is there enough wind for the sauces? Sausage? Apparently not. Apparently not. So it will just be out and out slalom. Steph says bring on the Frankfurters. Oh, there we go. Oh, a bit of air chachu action on the inside. Well, a few little waves around. We got Marvin, Starvin Marvin from Brazil, saying hello. Gonna see some action here. Shilling. Like I say, if you are just tuning in, we are going to be going on to racing. So the cameras will be picking up the slalom boys in a minute. We're just having a quick look at the wave guys and girls. John Herald says, hi from Germany. He's for Nico Preen all the way. Well, Dennis says, hello from Norway. Norway is tuning in. You can see the boys in the background. They've already been set. There's rocks out there. Yes, there is. There's a big rock called Godzilla. Usually takes a few prisoners. A good afternoon from Belgium, from Kurt. New Caledonia in the house. From Tyrone. You can see the slalom guys right in the background there. You can see how far away the top of the course is. Obviously onshore winds, so the start for the slalom guys is right out to sea. Arthur from Holland, he's going for Jordi Vonk. Gonzalo says, Ben, you must stream the next Suarez Inferno in Matanzas when Chile. I'd love to go to Matanzas, Chile. Sounds great. Slalom-X is getting more exciting to watch than the waves, says Jack. Alex here supporting Amado and Tati. I'm sure they've got a few supporters, to be fair. A couple more added to the list. Okay, so it looks like we have had an update on the announcement, and the next wave announcement is at 3:30. The slalom is on. It will be coming up live from 3:30, 15 to 20 knots. So that's in 4 minutes time, and there we go. There is a few of the slalom boys coming into our shots now, getting warmed up. We'll be waiting for that flag on the boat. When that red flag goes up, that will be 4 minutes until the first heat. So, although it says next announcement 3:30, it is the next start is at 3:30. So the start will be at 3:30. Let's go Matt check, says the Easy Surf Shop. Well, Dennis supporting Jordi Vonk. Oh, what's that flag on the boat? It's general recall. Well, I think that's maybe just a... I don't think that is actually a general recall yet. Alex from the south of France supporting Pierre, obviously. Not Alex from Phantom, is it? G'day from Perth in Australia. Wade says, Ben, I hope you've got full health this time. Well, I'll be honest, I think I've picked up some cold. There's like load of people around here with a dodgy throat and cold, and I've already got a bit of a croaky voice. I haven't done any commentating yet, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there. I've got a jumper on. It's like 30 degrees. So yeah, I'm already falling apart. Tomas is going for Maciej Rakowski. But we are getting close to seeing that flag up on the boat. I think what we could do at this time is maybe film the committee boat, and then we'll see when that flag goes up. There we go, that's the committee boat right upwind. Lazy Doug K says, rooting for Geordie, Dowdor, Amado and Tati, all the Dutchies. Frederick Bonnet says, Ben, you want some weight categories in Slalom-X? It seems that it will not be possible, so why not some disadvantage for the big riders depending on their weights? You limit the surface they can use. Well, I'm still confident that the weight categories will come in. I am, you know, it's going to have to take someone ballsy to decide, yes, we're going to do it. And what I should start doing is getting how many under 80 kilo, let's say 80 kilo is a good number, we could change it, but let's say 80 kilo, how many racers out there would be keen to go for a world title in that under 80 kilo category? Are we going to get the youths coming over? Because it will affect the youth guys. It's not an age thing, but obviously the youths are usually lighter. It would affect maybe some past guys, you know, Cornham, Sebastian Cornham springs to mind, light racer. It would be up probably in for a shout of a world title. Be interested to see. Postponement flag is up on the boat. So apparently, why is there no Spanish slalom guys out there? I don't know. See, I think it's a lot to do with the national fleets and how, you know, motivated those national fleets are. It takes time to build up to a level where you're, you know, fighting on the PWA. O'Mini says not enough money in it for more champions. Well, you say that, but if there's a whole new category of rider, let's say 80 kilo guys, maybe there's more gear sold, maybe there's more interest, maybe there's more money. If you're just selling it to the big guys and lighter guys are getting pushed out, then you're losing a lot of money. I would maybe, again, this is all up in there. It's for a discussion while we're waiting for this race. It's a good time to have a discussion with you guys. I guess some of you will race out there. Lubo says, I'm for the underdog, whoever it is. Yeah, so you're always for the 6th place rider who's just missing out, maybe. Rasmus says weight categories only benefit really tall riders. Being 185 but only 75 kilos, leverage is a winner. Yeah, leverage for sure makes a difference, but I think if you ask a lot of light riders, they'd rather go against a tall, skinny 78 kilo guy than a tall guy who's 90 kilos. It's definitely, for sure, it's an advantage, but there's less of an advantage. And as you get windier, then that's when it makes a big difference. You know, the smaller guys can have a much better chance. But when you get that advantage when you're smaller gets windier, the big tall guys have got still a good advantage. So I think until it happens and it's trialed. I was talking with a few of the guys the other day, and now I think from my perspective, which I think has always been interesting because I've been a keen racer but quite small, I would have loved to have done PWA slalom, but there was just no chance for, you know, it just wasn't going to happen. So I ended up going down the Olympic route because that was where the lighter racers went. Whereas now the lighter racers, there's nowhere to go. You just end up being no man's land because the IQ foil now is not for super light, you know, riders. So there is no kind of lightish racing discipline, which you do lose a lot of people because of it. What's the typical weight for the best guys at the moment? 95, I would probably say. 95 kilos. Yeah, Rasmus saying it should be weight, not height, not weight. The problem is with that, though, then you just get really loads of fat people. It's not really where you want to go when it's down to weight. I think it's got to be trialed to see. I think that's the only way to do it. Yeah, you can't wear weight vests at the moment in the PWA. They used to back in the day, you know, and when you used to see it when there was a lot more custom boards around, you know, back in the day, Nick Baker, even, you know, Eric Tiemi, and all these guys were a lot lighter than a lot of the riders now. Now when it's just, you know, and it used to be an overall discipline rather than just racing. But if you now look at the races, there is definitely they're definitely bigger. There are smaller guys out there, but it's definitely bigger. Which is still cool. It's like, I think it's like boxing. Like the heavyweight will always be the big discipline, the one that brings in the crowds, you know, whatever. It will be that. But I don't think you need to alienate all the smaller riders. Which is interesting. Like I said, these are the best guys, the best of the best. You're not going to beat these no matter what you do. These are the best of the best. And that's what you want. You do want that in the PWA, but I think there's room. There's room. Maybe we need the Masters category. I'm sure there's a few of the old boys out there who would enjoy a Masters category. Obanini, I think he seems to be a bit biased, but he says the more you split it up, the more split your audience will be. I don't think so. I think it's like when you have women's racing and men's racing. It's just as entertainment as long as the racing is good. I think if the racing is good, I know from a personal perspective, I mean, I'm quite a good candidate for who watches it because I watch every race, but I definitely would be taking notes on the smaller guys and how they set their gear and what they use, and maybe, you know, I could even suggest, like, if we go crazy, we could go just twin cams on the 80 kilo guys. You know, pushes the twin cam setup. It's a bit more achievable for some of the young guys, maybe cheaper. So just waiting for this race. If you are tuning in, wondering what I'm churning on about, I'm just filling for time at the moment. We will have a race underway pretty soon. Just putting the final touches. The postponement flag is up at the moment on the boat. I mean, I just know when I was younger, I grew up with weight categories. And you know, I wouldn't have wanted to go against the heavyweight classes. Like, I remember winning the lightweight class quite a few times, and I don't think it detracted from the overall thing. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm just going from personal experience. So we're just waiting for the boys to be adjusted at the moment, and we will be getting underway. On Mini says, I actually think the wave rally format from Paul is the way to go. I agree. Like I said, I think we have to experiment. You've got to try and build up the national fleets. The national fleets are what feed the whole main system and make the whole thing work. Without the national fleets, if the national fleets die, which they have gone down, that's for sure, that's what really needs solving, I would say. But what I can see is, I'm looking at Turkey, just for example, there's so many youths and juniors there, and you just know, and I know this, some of the best riders there with the most technical skill won't grow to be a full, you know, massive slalom racer, and that will be a huge disadvantage, and they'll probably drift out of racing. So if you look at it like that, you have to see a way of keeping those guys in a sport. And like boxing, if you want to be a heavyweight champion and you grow up as an amazing boxer and there's no weight categories, you will never make it as a boxer. I mean, there's too many in boxing, don't get me wrong, but, you know, that's just how it is. So, if you are just tuning in, we're about to get underway with racing. Slalom-X is the call here in Tenerife for the Hotel Playa Surf CBbC. Tenerife El Médano Windsurfing Grand Slam. It's a bit of a mouthful, but Playa Surf Hotel doing a great job supporting this event once again. And we will be going into live action with the first heat of the day, which will be Mateo Yukino, Maciek Rakowski, Jordi Vonk, Nico Preen. We're going to have Martini in it, Board, Stallman, Cousin, Van der Veen and Sugi. That's going to be coming up in your first heat. And in the second heat, we're going to have Mortafon, Vrieswijk, Daldorf, Franz, Tieme, Macker, Jules, Giannoli, Delarue and Silva. So that is what we've got coming up. And it will be happening relatively soon. We've got some GPSed buoys at the moment. So there's no anchors on these buoys. There is some stuff locally with how it's all run. You're not allowed to drop anchors, so we have to have the GPS buoys, which is a little bit different. They're basically programmed on a map, and you tell them where to go, and then they just drive off and keep themselves there with some little motors on the bottom. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so Svarta saying for sailing, going back to this weight discussion, I'm going to keep banging on about it. I think it's interesting. For sailing, it's pretty much that you would have to choose your clash after your body, or your body to match the clash. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, in windsurfing, if you want to be a racer, like in sailing, if you want to be a racer and you're a big bloke, you probably go on the fin, you know, Olympic. Or if you're a bit lighter, you go in the laser or whatever. There's different ways you can go. Oh, red flag is up. But in windsurfing, you can't do that. Like, you used to be able to go Olympic or PWA for the two sort of weight classes, but now they're very closely linked. Anyway, that's the discussion. But we are going to get now into racing. Red flag is up, so less than 4 minutes to go until the start for Elimination 2. So, in case you're wondering, just to fill you in, these guys haven't got the big boards. They haven't got the 85 wides or anything like this. They haven't got the 8.4 sails. Biggest sails they're kind of rocking here are around 7.5, depending on the brand. But let's just put it in the ballpark of 7.5. And they're medium boards, which is 73 wide or something like that, 116 litres. That's kind of the middle ground. So, yeah. That's how it's. That's how they're stacked up. We've got about 15 to 20 knots of wind. Looks windier than yesterday, and we'll be getting in for Elimination 2. Obviously, the winner of yesterday's elimination and current World Tour leader in Slalom-X is Pierre Mortefon. Obviously, last year's champion as well. So he's looking in good form. Okay, yellow flag. Sorry, just a few sound things. Check, check, check. I don't know if you've got the sound. I just had a bit of crackling in my ear. Ah, no, there is a problem with the sound. We've got some interference. It's pretty bad. I was just having it in my ear, so I don't know if you guys have got it as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a problem online. Okay, the noise has gone. Now it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, apparently it's okay. Is that okay? Sound is okay. We're back in. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen again. We are lining up, getting ready for the start, Elimination 2. Yakino, Rakowski, Vonk, Preen, Martini, Board, Stallman, Cousin, Van der Veen, Sugi. That's who we're looking out for. 5 riders will qualify. Okay, lining up. Let's see if we can pick them out. Got Cedric Board, Yakino up there. All flying towards that line. We got Maciej Rakowski in the middle. There's quite a lot of riders. We're used to 8, but obviously there's like 10 riders in this. It's only 2 more, but it does make a difference. Oh, green flag is up, and it looks like it is a good start. So a great start at that top end on the Severn. Really good start up there. Middle of the pack as well. Jordi Vonk looks like he's going well. Maciej Rakowski going well. And then we've got Nico Preen as well with that big yellow Insta360 sticker. Looks like he's in good form. So flying down this bottom. Although we have had a few of the guys pulling up a bit on that top end. Does that mean there is a general recall? It probably does. And if it is, it's bad news for Mr. Cedric Board, I feel. Yeah, it is a general recall. So a general recall, that means we didn't have the drone then though, did we? What happened to the drone? Okay, not quite sure what's happening. So we got general recall, drone, no drone? Okay. Okay, there's the drone. Okay. Yeah, so it was Cedric Board who has been disqualified over the line early. I mean, he had a great start, and it's usually a good sign that you're probably going to be over the line early. Okay, so the drone is there. Yep, there we go. Well, makes it in the nick of time. Good job as a general recall. But Cedric Board disqualified. Obviously Cedric thought, well, there's no drone, I'll go over the line, give him a bit of time. Where is the live stream from yesterday? Yep, the live final is on from yesterday. The rest of it wasn't worth leaving online. If you tuned in, you'll know what I mean. But the live final from yesterday is on the PWA YouTube channel. So, recall flags down. 3 minutes until the start. 3 minutes until the start. Who do you think is going to win Elimination 2? Let me know in the comments. You got 3 minutes, or 2.5 minutes, I probably should say, to get your predictions in. I wouldn't bet on Cedric Board right now, though. That would be one guy I would not bet on. He's out, disqualified, gone. There we go. That's a look all the way down the bay into South Bay. If you come here, that's usually where most of the centres are based, in South Bay. And then the harbour wall just on the right of your picture, about halfway down. The live final from yesterday, for if you're asking, it is live. It's just cut off the live stream. There's no cuts. It's just straight off. But the other stuff was not worth it. Geordie, Gunn says. Richard says Nico. There's no big board rule. It's true. You could register big board. If you were just registering for this one event, you could actually have bigger gear, I guess. It's not the idea of the reason for doing the way they do the gear, but... Right, the Liger says Pierre is the safe bet. Or is he? Geordie, the only guy... Did anyone see the water speed app? Did anyone check out the water speed app with the speeds? I should really let you know. The water speed app, because if you don't know, we're doing a challenge at the moment. But Bruno Martini was the fastest guy, 33 knots yesterday. Geordie and Pierre 31 or high 31s. So Geordie is definitely not a bad person to bet on. But Bruno Martini might be the guy to bet on in this stuff. Here we go, lining up. Elimination number 2, the restart. Heat number 1. Geordie Vonk down that bottom end. Nico Preen down that bottom end. Geordie giving it a go. Let's stay on that drone, boys. Let's have a look. That's better. Let's stay on that. There we go. Geordie Vonk second from the right. Then we've got Nico Preen. Great start from those boys down there. We got Maciek Rakowski in the middle. And then a real bunch up. Oh, like I said, a real bunch up. Oh, my life. I have never seen that happen. Just tight, close to each other in relatively light winds for these boys. Okay, Nico Preen looking like he's going to be the first guy to the first mark. You got Maciek Rakowski behind him, Geordie Vonk, Bruno Martini and Matteo Iachino. Looks like 5 riders already quite far ahead of the rest of the pack. This could be an easy qualification for the boys, but it is Nico Preen rounding first, then Maciek Rakowski, then Matteo Iachino, then Geordie Vonk, then Bruno Martini. And then there's a little bit of a gap till the other riders, although Geordie Vonk struggling to get out of that jibe. The other boys have just powered their way out, but we know how fast Geordie is. But Nico Preen looking good down this bottom end. He's going to take the lead quite comfortably. The 2 Neil Pride boys looking good. Maciek Rakowski solid in second. Then we've got Matteo Iachino. Nico Preen just leading around this first mark. And then it is Maciek Rakowski, Matteo Iachino, Bruno Martini, Geordie Vonk. Oh, Patrick, that was a nice jibe on the Patrick gear. So let's have a look. That could be Cousin. Cousin looking dangerous for that 5th place. I think we need to keep an eye on it a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on that as we go through this race. But looking good from Preen, Rakowski, Iachino. That's your top 3. I think from this mark coming up, if we get the drone to follow the 5th and 6th riders, because we've only got this jibe and 1 more to go. So let's stay on this with the drone, because you see the lines with the drone. Okay, Preen, Maciek Rakowski, Iachino, Martini, and it is Cousin. He's actually overtaken Geordie Vonk here. He had a really low line there, but comes down through the bottom. But Cousin, that's the fight. Up in the front, Nico Preen is easily going to win this. Where's the drone at? What we got filming with the drone? Okay. Nico Preen round in first. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Right. Look at 5th place. Now keep your eye on 5th place. We need to film that 5th place because Cousin and Vonk are having a battle here. Geordie Vonk goes to the inside. What a jibe from the Dutchman inside of Cousin there. And this is going to be an out-and-out drag race in the swell. Geordie Vonk on the blue duotone. The Patrick of Alexander Cousin. Let's stay with the... It looks like Geordie Vonk is going to win this race. Surely Cousin can't overtake him. Well, actually, Jimmy Tieme. Is Tieme in this first race? No, it is Cousin. Okay, just checking. But it is going to be Geordie Vonk all the way to the finish. So Preen, Rakowski, Iachino, Martini, and it will be Geordie Vonk who gets that all-important 5th spot. But not an easy result there for Geordie Vonk. And there we go. That is the finish. Well, hopefully we get a replay of that. Can we get a replay of that crash? Okay, let's have a look at that replay. Something happens. So it looks like Stallman. There's a Savert in there. Yeah, it was like the top GA. Do we have the drone replay of that? Yeah. Oh, no. No, okay. Okay, so just looking at the replays from the race. Yeah, look, this was where Geordie was just not quite able to get going. He's a big fella. Okay, next up we've got the second semi-final. Coming up in this second semi-final, we've got the event leader. It looks like they're lining up for the start. We need to get right back up there. We are right up to the start, so hopefully we've got the drone ready to go. Okay, we're a little bit far away, but we're going to see it. Mortefon, Vrieswijk, Daldorf, Franz, Tieme, Macker, Jules, Ginoli, Delarue, Silva. It looks like maybe a... Is it a good start? Looks like maybe a general, but no, full going. That is a good start. So just about... Oh, and another crash! What is going on these start lines? Something is definitely happening out there. Big crash on their own by the looks of it. I think that was Amado Vrieswijk on the 0.7. Tati Franz looking good in the middle of this reach, though. Pierre Macker... Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, Pierre Macker looking good. Pierre Mortefon on the right-hand side. Tati Franz in the middle. Macker on the top left. We've got Daldorf up there on the GA as well. And it looks like Jimmy Tieme on the Patrick. These are the difficult ones. These jives, you've got to come round on the swell. And it looks like all the riders getting away through the mark. Looking good. Lohan Jules at the moment in 5th place. Tati Franz in the lead. Then we've got Pierre Mortefon and Macker fighting out on the Neil Prides. Daldorf in about 4th place. And Lohan Jules has got a fight on his hands by the looks of it in that 5th spot. Couple of the Patrick boys just behind. So the Patrick boys of Ginoli and Delarue. But it's Tati Franz rounding first round this second mark. Then we've got Pierre Mortefon. Daldorf going to the inside of Macker. Then Macker coming through. Then Lohan Jules. That's your top 5 at the moment. So looking pretty solid. One mistake from any of those guys in the top 4, though, will cause a problem. But Tati Franz looking good. Amado Vrieswijk trying to get himself back in this race. But obviously a big crash on that first reach. Tati Franz going well here at the front. So Tati Franz in first. Second place, Pierre Mortefon. Then Lohan Jules up into 3rd. Daldorf in 4th. Macker in 5th. And then it looks like maybe Jimmy Tieme. Difficult to see from here. But this is going to come right down to it. So Macker at the moment in 5th place. That's perfect. That's the shot we want. Jimmy Tieme behind him, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to challenge here. So obviously at the front, Tati Franz looking good. Pierre Mortefon up there in 2nd place. And this is Pierre Macker in 5th place. This is the important spot. This is the one that gets the qualifying. So Macker needs to make it round here. Oh, and he's gained some on Daldorf here down the swell. Let's stay on that shot. Yes, there we go. Look at that. Jimmy Tieme, I think it is, on that Patrick. It could be Delarue, but I'm going with Jimmy at the moment. But Jimmy has done a great move there. We just missed it. But that's where the action happens, in that 5th place on the jibe marks. Jimmy Tieme, what a comeback that is. All on that last mark. I don't think Macker's going to get back at him here. Tati Franz is going to win it. But Tati Franz wins it. But Tieme on the drone should have this wrapped up. Yep, and there he does. He gets the 5th spot. Great race from Jimmy. Mortevan obviously up there in 2nd. Daldorf and Lohan Jules also in that top 5. They will be making the final. Good race from Mr. Tati Franz there. Let's have a look at that replay. What happened there? Crash over the front of Lohan Jules from Amado Vrieswijk. I think he must have caught the back end of his boom. Lohan Jules actually came through a really good race there. Wasn't quite up there at that first mark. Good jibe all the way around there. Look how far Jimmy's back here. For Jimmy to get back up into that is impressive stuff. Jimmy's already caused... Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Jimmy coming down on that swell. Oh. Go. View of the spectators turning up. So we've now got the semi-finals and finals ready to go. Is El Médano Cabezo Beach. There's a few different spots here in Medano. This is the proper wave beach, and obviously doing slalom on the outside of that. Then you've got the harbour wall a little bit further down, and then South Bay, which is where the sponsor of this competition comes from. So that is where Playa Surf CBbC Hotel is based, which is in South Bay. That is the way. Well, it's not quite updated yet, but you can see it's kind of half updated, but it will get fully updated very soon. So still waiting for that elimination to be updated. But we can pretty much work out who is in it. We can see Jordi Vonk did just make it in. Okay, so obviously there's a bit of a delay between the two. Okay, so the full heats have been updated now. So the runners-up final will be Cousin, Van der Veen, Sugi, Board, Stallman, Macker, Delarue, Silva, Giannoli and Vrieswijk. And then the final will be Preen, Rakowski, Iachino, Martini, Vonk, Franz, Mortefon, Jules, Daldorf, and there we go. Tieme was the guy to make it. So we've seen some good jibing on those swells, and that's the difference. you know, with the fin, if you mistime that swell, you don't get on it, you don't get a good jibe, you don't get the timing right, you can lose a hell of a lot of ground. So it's never over till it's over, even in these lighter winds. We got perfect wind for the big stuff that these guys have got. So medium boards, like I say, 7.5-ish sails. Who's going to take the second elimination final? So there has been a few of the boys out there on the wave stuff. Also, like I said, the Water Speed app, there's a challenge going on. You can go against these guys. So I know there's a storm on at the moment in the UK. So if you're in the UK or you're getting any sort of that storm, you'll be able to maybe take these guys on, because they can't move from here in Tenerife, and they're on 7.5s medium boards. You know, if you're on some fast stuff, you can maybe take the lead at the moment. I'm going to try and get these guys to bring it up. Oh, there we go. Jenna has already just taken the lead, so she's obviously in the UK. Jenna Gibson is leading the rankings with 41.8 knots. And I'm guessing that's at West Kirby. Yeah, the Wirral. There we go. So Jenna Gibson is leading on the Water Speed app right now. The highest ranked PWA rider is Bruno Martini in 9th place with a 33.2, which is pretty impressive considering he's here in Tenerife with not particularly a lot of wind. But Jenna Gibson is right up there. It looks like we've got a bit of Aussie. Nick Boz maybe in second. Joe in third. Baptiste in 5th place. In La Palme. Alwyn in 6th. So good to see. A lot of you guys have entered that. If you haven't got it, download the Water Speed app. Get yourself involved. Go to challenges and join the PWA race with the Pros Challenge. There is 166 riders already entered. You've got 20 days left. So the PWA boys can apparently only do their thing here in Tenerife. But you guys will be able to carry on after, or maybe they can carry on after. Actually, I need to find that out. But let's see who can beat the PWA boys. But if you're definitely in the UK right now, there's some big storms. Maybe it's coming down to Europe as well. Floris hits the west coast of Sweden tonight. G-Tech says sailing Tuesday. Storm Floris is lush in Wales. Sunshine and blue skies and windy. Yeah. Nah, you guys should get some decent wind up there. It might be what's causing all the problems here in the Canaries, because obviously usually we'd have a bit more wind than we've got at the moment. So maybe that is what's causing some issues. Bloody Floris. So if you are tuning in, runners-up final coming up of the Slalom-X on day number 4. Of this Playa Surf CBbC hotel here in El Médano, Tenerife. The windsurfing Grand Slam, because we do have waves as well this week. The forecast is looking better towards the end of the week, so we should be getting a bit of action from everything, which will be good to see. There's definitely more wind towards the weekend. It's going to be late by the looks of it, but we're going to have similar wind to this the next days. Red flag is up. Going to be interesting to hopefully hear from the guys that had some catapults or problems You got Pat Diver saying the water speed app, does it need to be paired with a GPS watch? You can do it different ways. So if you've got a waterproof case for your watch, you can just, I mean for your phone, sorry, you can just take the phone with the app and use it that way. If you've got a Garmin, a Coros, you have to correct it from maybe a Polar. There's another watch brand as well. Obviously, an Apple Watch. You can link it up in the app to your watch. So then you just take out your normal watch. You know, you set the GPS as normal, and then when you come in, it automatically updates by linking in with the Garmin app, let's say, or the Coros app, or the iWatch is the same. Links through. Up in Norway, 26 meters per second. Let me now. You don't have flat water. You need to reset that. That's not full. There's a refresh. Yeah. So coming up. Runners-up final, Cousin, Van der Veen, Sugi, Board, Stallman, Macker, Delarue, Silva, Giannoli and Vrieswijk. There we go, that's the full one. And then obviously in the winners' final, Preen, Rakowski, Giacchino, Martini, Vonk, Franz, Mortefont, Jules, Daldorf, TMA. Alwyn, he's on his way to the speed strip. Let's try and top Jenna. I was going to say, it's going to be some speeds coming in. I know you guys are going to get some wins. So, I mean, what a time to do a PWA challenge. These boys are going to be down the list, I have a feeling. You guys are going to be topping out. Yeah, so yellow flag is up. Just looking at the list, saying Apple Watch works great with the water speed app. Yeah, for sure. The Garmin works well. I use the Garmin, works great. I know the boys here got Coros. That seems to work good as well. So it all seems to be linking in nicely. And it is pretty fun. If you're not on that water speed app, I definitely do it. I'm going to do some updates for the monthly challenges soon. I'm a bit behind on it because I've been pretty busy. But it's cool that the PWA have... got them in as partners, and we're going to be seeing some cool stuff coming in the future as well with the PWA and water speed. So if you're not on the water speed app, definitely get it downloaded. Just go to the App Store or Google Play. Okay, here we go. Runners up final first. Looks like Silver on that top end on the Challenger. Wants to maybe get a good result in. We've got, imagine Amado Vrieswijk will be pushing hard on this one. Oh, he's over. Oh, there's a few. Oh, my life. There were definitely going to be some recalls coming here. Oh, no. That is definitely a general recall. I think... Clayton Silver, unless it was postponed, will be coming home because, I mean, he was way past before the flag went up. Yeah, general recall. We'll wait to hear the official who was over, but I'd be surprised, let's say, if it wasn't Clayton Silver. So just waiting for official confirmation of who was over. But maybe it's a few riders. So still waiting for confirmation. Right, the light says no wind in Switzerland. Greetings from Florida, from Windsurf, Florida. Scotland is getting 70-mile-an-hour winds in the Flores. 70-plus mile-an-hour winds in Storm Flores. 4-metre weather on the south coast of the UK, so there's definitely wind around. Like to see it. So we're about to find out who's over. So it is Clayton Silver and France 152, which is Giannoli and Silver, both over the line. So it'll be 8 riders in this fleet now. Yellow flag, so 2 minutes to go until the start. So 2 riders gone, 8-man slalom, just like normal. But this is, remember, the runners-up final. Let's hope the drone is going to have enough battery. Because what I'll be worried about is there's not enough battery to do the final straight after. So we need to make sure that the boat knows to maybe leave a bit of a gap if he's got to come in. Because when you have these general equals, the drone is on the edge to stay out for 2. So we just need to make sure we've got that drone for the final. Okay, so it sounds like they've got a plan for the drone, but might mean we only get the drone for the first bit of this race, because they probably could just delay it a little bit, but Joe says no wind in Lake Constance. Here we go, lining up. Medano Windsurf on that top left. Got Macker just down from him on the Neil Pride. Storman in the middle. Sugi doing a kind of a different start to the rest of them. Sort of starting at the front and then drifting back. And we've also got Delarue down that bottom end. Oh, looks like Cedric Board with a good start as well. Cedric Board maybe with the best start on the Severn down this bottom end. Oh no, there's someone even further down. But Cousin maybe. Cousin and Board flying on this bottom end. Stolman looking good in the middle. Medano Windsurf right on the top, and he's getting a little bit of lift. You can see they are really fighting out there. Great conditions to be blasting around on the medium boards and the 7.5s, but it's Cedric Board who's going to power his way through the middle of this first reach. Medano Windsurf left a little bit further back, Cousin, but look at the swell as we come in. Cedric Board, has he timed it right? It looks like he's nailed that thing. So great jibe from Cedric Board. Cousin's a little bit further down. Windsurf coming through. Stallman with a great jibe on that inside and finding a way up to speed. Vrieswijk in third place, then Macker in fourth with Cousin. Board still leading. Looking good. This is the runners-up final, so the winner will get 11th place. Board won that runners-up final yesterday, and he's going the same way about this one today. But he's Board in first. Stallman chasing him down in second. Then we've got Amado Vrieswijk. So Board first round the second mark. Then we've got Stallman. Doesn't stall it. He absolutely nailed that thing. But so did Amado Vrieswijk. Look at Vrieswijk on the black sail, pushing through on top of Stallman. Board has to be careful because Amado means business here, but Stallman coming back at the Bonairean. Board still out in the lead. We've got Macker in fourth. And then looks like Cousin in fifth. But out in front, Cedric Board from France. Then we've got Scotty Stallman from the UK. Amado Vrieswijk from Bonaire. 2 jibe marks to go. Can they nail this? Board looks good. Stallman looked like he had a little bit of light air as he got through that, and Board's going to get further away here. Amado's going to fight his way. These guys are having a great one, but it is Amado Vrieswijk who's got the upper hand now, moves up into second place. Cedric Board still leading. Amado Vrieswijk now up into second place. Then we've got Stallman in third, Macker in fourth, Cousin in fifth place. But it's all about the leaders, all about the leaders at the front. Cedric Board looking good here, second place. Amado Vrieswijk, could he catch Board? Look at the swell line coming in here, and Board is on the front of it. This is going to work out good for Vrieswijk. Vrieswijk goes down the swell. Can he ride through it? He's going to try his best, and Vrieswijk has come right back at him now. Cedric Board is going to get a little slingshot here, but will it be enough to catch Amado Vrieswijk? There's going to be a drag race all the way to the finish. It's going to be a close one, but Cedric Board has used that second swell to push down on top of Amado Vrieswijk, and surely now there's only one winner here. Cedric Board, we thought he might have lost ground to Amado Vrieswijk with that big piece of swell going through, but Cedric Board will take the win in that runners-up final, so bagging himself another 11th place. He had finished 11th yesterday, finished 11th today. Let's stay on that finish line, boys. Second place will be Amado Vrieswijk. Third place looks like it's going to be Stallman, and it looked like Cousin just overtaking Macker towards the line. Then the Severn just coming through. Sugi and Ginoli. Or Delarue, sorry. Van der Veen, sorry, on the other Severn. So we go, just looking at a few of the replays, highlights I should say, from that race. Cedric Board, there was a moment there where he was nearly caught. Vrieswijk just a little bit too much to do. Scotty Stallman was looking good at this position. And then into this jibe, you could see as he jibes, he loses the pressure there onto the inside, and then it's good night. Amado Vrieswijk almost comes on the inside. Well, that was nearly the moment of the race. Okay. Men's winners final. Who's going to be coming up in this men's winners final? We've got Nico Preen in this, Maciek Rakowski, Matteo Iachino, Martini, Vonk, Franz, Mortafon, Jules, Daldorf, Tieme. That is your finalists. Results from yesterday, how they stand in the overalls. we've got Pierre Mortefon, the winner yesterday, Yukino in second, Rakowski in third, Vrieswijk was actually in fourth place, Ingmar Daudorf in fifth, Jordi Vonk sixth, Nico Preen seventh, Tati Franz eighth, Jimmy Tieme ninth, and Bruno Martini 10th. So most of those guys have made it through to a second final. Red flag is up on the boat. Anyone who place any bets? This is a controversial comment here. Robert says the sausage is the only one of only one of the many reasons why the PWA is losing so many potential riders. Is that right? I think we could. Well, I think I know my reasons. I think it's a lot to do with national racing. National racing is where the feeder is. Regional racing. That's what you need, a feeder. So Casper betting on Nico. Tati Franz, says Christian. Nico for the win. I hope that Geordie can pull it off after the crash in Furta. Says Gooch. Says Svarta saying... Interviews with the riders suggest that they like the obstacles, says Svarta. Unless you speak to Cedric Board. Dennis Snow. Hello, Ben. We're back at it. I see, yep. We're on. Tati getting a lot of support in this one. Eve says the sausage is the best thing in the world. Julio supporting for Nico. Here we go. We are just lining up. 2 minutes to go. So 2 minutes to go. Matchek with a bit of support from Jan. Nico. Pierre. Simon says, nope, sausage adds variety and it's only a small number of races. Tyron says anyone who races at this level should be able to jump a sausage. Keep the sausage. Support for the sausage coming in. Sausage always, says Julio. Mortefon will nail it, says Stream Factory. Lars is F14, which is obviously Pierre. Vardenis says sausage fun to look, but it's painful and dangerous. These are the best guys in the world. Remember that. There's a lot of love for the sausage out there. Who knew? Paul says, I hope Tati wins. More sausage, says Brenda. All right, let's try and work out who's who, where they are. Tati Franz, easy to spot. In the middle on the black sail, that's Tati. Far left, looks to me like Matteo Yukino. He's been starting at the boat end. He does like it. Jordi Vonk's easy to spot on that blue duotone down the bottom end. Then we've got the two prides, Maciek Rakowski. Actually, it looks like three prides in this. Pierre Mortefon. So... sorry, Nico Preen and Pierre Mortefon, I think, down that bottom end. Could be Pierre actually up near the boat, squashing the Daldorf in between Matteo Yukino, and it's a good start. Great start from Tati Franz up the top end. Great start from Bonaire. Looks like Lohan Jules looking good in the middle with Bruno Martini. Jordi Vonk looking good, but who is it once again down that bottom end? I think it could be Nico Preen, you know. Let's have a closer look as we get through, but a nice spread field. Lots of, you know, they're all going to squeeze in as we get into this first mark, but absolutely flying down this bottom end. I'm pretty sure it's Nico Preen. It is. So Preen looking good, Vonk looking good, Lohan Jules looking good as well on the S2 Maui sail. I think Lohan might have a chance here to go round first. It's going to be Geordie round in first, Nico Preen in second, then Lohan Jules just got a bit stuck. Pierre Mortefon coming out smelling of roses, but I tell you who's come out smelling of roses like he did yesterday. Matteo Giacchino does it again round the outside. I mean, that just goes to show it's not luck. That's 2 days in a row. So now we've got a battle. Nico Preen versus Matteo Giacchino fighting it out at the front. Nico Preen is right on the edge here. He wants to keep this lead. This would be a great race to win. He's got his missus on the beach watching on. Matteo Giacchino, though, second place. He's been pushed out by the German. Matteo trying to time this swell right, and it looks like a great swell for the Italian. He's going to accelerate down that, but then he's got to climb back up, and it's an even better swell maybe for Pierre Mortefon behind. A lot of tactics going on here. How do you use the swell? How do you make it count? But Nico Preen, no doubt about it, has found the speed here. He's looking very comfortable in this race, elimination number 2 final. So Nico Preen pulling out a little lead here on Matteo Giacchino. Let's stay on the drone, boys. There's no need to change this. This is the perfect angle. So we've got Nico Preen in the front, and look at this. Look at Pierre Mortefon. He's gone down over the top of Matteo Giacchino, just showing the speed he's got right now. Will he be going up there on the water speed up? But it's not a great job from Preen. Oh, and they've cancelled it. Oh, why? Okay. Oh, well, Nico Preen will not be a happy German. Oh, dear. Nick so good for the German. I mean, there was holes in the rest of the race. It's always quite a controversial thing, I always think, when it's cancelled, when the top guys are fully planing. You know, the best guys didn't get stuck at that first mark, and there's a reason. Maybe because they're the best guys, you know. So you'll have to let me know out there what you think of that. Obviously, we were concentrating on the first guys. We couldn't see the rest of the race. But you know what it's like. You start to think, well, the best guys, it's more of a disadvantage for the best guys if you restart it. Like, if you weren't in the mix, if you weren't in clean air, but then the argument, I know because I've heard it from the other side, is, well, they didn't have a fair chance to catch back up. So that is what you have to, guys at home. It's going to be a controversial decision. It's a bit like refereeing in football, you know. Sometimes it's a little bit arbitrary, you know. But I'm guessing it's because the wind dropped below a minimum wind speed. But as far as I know, there isn't an official rule for a wind speed. It is more a call from a judge. Like, is it fair? Yes or no? Common sense kind of rule. So we don't know what the rest of that other race looked like, but the top boys looked like they had plenty. Oh, the last buoy had drifted. So there you go. Maybe it got too much swell. So the last buoy apparently had drifted. We are using, or being, I should say, forced to use here in Tenerife, the GPS buoys, which have basically got motors on them to hold them in place. And again, they're not allowed to use anchors here. There's some environmental thing, but you can't disturb the seagrass. So, that's a hard one to take for Nico. I think it's happened to him before. He was leading a race in Japan. It was a fair while ago, and the wind shifted. And he took it pretty well, to be fair. So it was a buoy problem. It wasn't a wind problem. That's good to hear, because I think if that had been a wind problem, I would have been a bit questioning why. You know, the top guys were still going. So the buoy has drifted. They did say these buoys, the GPS buoys, can stay in one place in up to 35 knots. But maybe those swell, maybe a bit of swell caught it. But it would have to have lost its total position, I guess. That's a shame. There was only one jibe mark to go. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be gutted with that. That was be good to get some interviews, but I think they're going to go back out. We've had a lot happen. We've had a few big crashes going on, which, you know, when you're looking at the conditions, it doesn't look crazy, but obviously it is. There's a few, you know, waves coming through, and obviously that boy must have, oh, we don't know. See if I can find out some more information. Yeah, the last boy has drifted. Good news for Geordie, says Niels. Dave the Wave says you don't see a referee in football stopping play in the middle of an attack. I've seen it, actually. Not saying it was a good decision, but I have seen it. But that wasn't the reason. Basically, the reason is, if we put it in football terms, someone moved the goal, basically. You know, someone moved the pitch. Someone moved the corner flag and all the lines. You know, it's not quite that whole thing moved. Alwyn says, I actually see it as a skill to escape from the no-win situation like that. Cancelling the heat feels unfair. It's part of the sport. Yeah, but again, I think we've established now it wasn't cancelled for lack of wind. It was cancelled because the boy had drifted. So wind is still 20 to 25 knots, apparently. Who's that? Is that Lars? Come on, Lars. He'll do some work. He's like, oh no, that would have been the video sorted. He would have had an easy job with the Nico win. Okay, red flag up on the boat. So 4 minutes to go. Anyone want to change their predictions? Can Nico Preen do it again? He seemed to have the speed. Pierre looked like he was quick, though. Pierre did look like he was coming back. I mean, he rolled over the top of Matteo Iachino. That must be pretty disconcerting. Was that blanket at the beach? I think it was. Neil says, no, Geordie will nail it. He's not looked so good out of the jibes, Geordie, though. If you've looked at any of the races so far, he's got the speed, but out of that first jibe, he's looked like he's lost a lot of ground every time, not just once. Bomb Squid said, will the wave comp run? I don't think today, no. You never know, but doesn't look like it. Let's go for a duck jibe in the last mark, said Yurko. I bet the boy moves again, Casper says. That's the spirit, Casper. Gee. Yellow flag, 2 minutes to go. I think when I've seen Nico go good, it's more in the swelly stuff. So maybe this is suiting him. You know, he obviously spent a bit of time in silt and these type of places with a bit more open sea. We saw it in that long distance race in Furta where there was a bit more swell around. And Nico looked good in that stuff. I think he looks pretty tuned up for the more swelly type conditions. So I don't think it'd be a bad bet, that's for sure. I think it's hard to bet against Pierre looking at the speed that he had coming back there after a disappointing first jibe, and then you see Matteo's jibing. He's done it both times with a decent outside jibe, so he's found the skill for that. Simon saying, is Geordie's injury from Furta still affecting him? I'm sure it is. I mean, it's a nasty smash he had. Okay, so here we go. Tati Franz, once again, easy to spot on that black sail. We got Bruno Martini with the orange top on that S2 Maui sail on the left-hand side. Matteo Iachino once again all the way up near the boat. We didn't really see Maciej Rakowski in that last one, but we might see him in this one. Looks like Pierre's gone up near the boat. So Pierre Mortefon right up near the boat again, getting squeezed in between Daldorf and Martini. Then we've got Jimmy Tieme. Lohan Jewel looking good. Tati Franz with a great start if he's not over in the middle. Down that bottom end as well from Nico Preen, Maciej Rakowski, Jordi Vonk. Oh, they look close, didn't they? It looks like it is a good start. So good start. Down this bottom end, we've got the two Neil Prize. It looks like Maciej and Nico Preen. Jordi Vonk just going over the top of, trying to go over the top of Maciej Rakowski. They look like they've got a good lead. The top boys, though, have got so much height on the rest of the pack. So these boys will need to keep their upwind speed here. But it looks good for Jordi Vonk. The Flying Dutchman flying. Maciej Rakowski holding on to that second spot, looking good. You've got Bruno Martini looking good. Pierre Mortefon coming down as Maciej crosses over the weight to give him some angle into this jibe. But it is Jordi Vonk on a swell. Maciej Rakowski gets squeezed out by Bruno Martini. Ouch! That will hurt. Maciej Rakowski will not be happy with that. But if you're a Bruno Martini fan, you'll be cheering all the way because he muscled his way through that. Wow, I didn't think Bruno was going to come out well there, but he came out still planing. So Jordi Vonk now leading. There was a few people calling for it in the comments, and it looks like you might have got it right. So Jordi Vonk leading, Bruno Martini in second. Then we've got Pierre Mortefon, Tati Franz, Maciej Rakowski, Daldorf, Matteo Iachino right back at the moment as Jordi Vonk jibes around the second mark in first place. Then Bruno Martini on a swell. That's dangerous. Bruno Martini gets a lovely bit of swell there. Pierre Mortefon does not get the swell, and the other guys are going to pull out a little bit further ahead, and they need that little bit of comforting room ahead of Pierre Mortefon. But Jordi Vonk, I was saying it, he hasn't quite got his jibes nailed, but he's got the speed, and his jibes are coming good in this second elimination final. So that cancellation has worked very good for Jordi Vonk. Jordi Vonk leading, Bruno Martini second, then Pierre Mortefon. Maciej Rakowski looks like he's in fourth place. Jordi Vonk needs to keep it going here. Oh, he's jibed on the top of a swell there. Does he get going? Yes, he does. That's good news for Jordi Vonk fans. Good jibe from Bruno Martini. Good jibe from Pierre Mortefon. Then we've got Maciej Rakowski, Tati Franz, Ingmar Daldorf, then Preen, then Matteo Iachino. But out in front with one jibe mark to go. Someone said, is his injury bothering him? I thought it would be, but it doesn't look like it is. Jordi Vonk absolutely flying into this last jibe mark here. Surely it's going to take a disaster for Jordi not to win this. It could get it wrong with the swell. You never know. If the swell doesn't line up for him, Bruno Martini could come back at him here. He hasn't got a big piece of swell, but he's got the power to push through. And it's not going to make any difference. Jordi Vonk is going to get away. So is Bruno Martini, and Pierre Mortefon's gone down. Pierre Mortefon is in the drink. Maciek Rakowski is coming through. Let's stay on that drone shot because that is a big deal, that. Maciek Rakowski up into third, Tati Franz into fourth, Daldorf into fifth, and then it looks like Nico Preen, Matteo Iachino, and Pierre Mortefon has had an absolute shocker. That's a disaster. But out in front, Jordi Vonk will take this second elimination, and this will throw the results all over the place because Jordi was sixth in the first elimination. He's going to win this second elimination, and there he does win it. That's the finish line. Stay there. We got Bruno Martini in second place. He was 10th in the first one. Maciek Rakowski will get third. That's some solid result for Maciek. 2 third places. He's going to be right up there. Then we've got Tati Franz, Ingmar Daldorf, then Nico Preen, then Matteo Iachino. I think Maciek Rakowski might be leading here. Then we've got Pierre Mortefon. What a disaster for Pierre. Slight lack of concentration or just getting it wrong on that last mark. But it'd be interesting to hear the interviews at the end of this. Whoa. Well, hopefully we're going to get some interviews. Have a look at the replays of that. Well, that's a nice shot. Nice bucket. Here we go. This was that first reach. Look at Bruno. Just muscling through. I love that. I mean, Maciek won't love it, but legit, wasn't it? Let me know. Did well to keep the pressure on. Get playing in. Maciek did well to stay in the game there. 2 third places for Maciek. We should just do a little working out of the scores. Yeah, Maciek was third in the first one. Another third. Ingmar Daldorf. Jordi Vonk was a 6th and a 1st. 7th and a Tati Franz. I'm pretty sure Maciek Rakowski will be leading. Oh, what happened? Just let go of the boom. Just couldn't keep hold of it. Everyone come through. Jordi Vonk needed that. I think Jordi Vonk's up to second place in the overalls. We'll get a refresh of those results as soon as possible. But there he is. Are we going to get interviews from the beach? Yeah, so we will be having interviews from the beach. So stay tuned. And then we'll be going into another elimination, I guess. As the winner, Jordi Vonk, Pierre Mortefon, Maciek Rakowski. They're the ones we really want to hear from because that was where stuff was happening. Bruno Martini as well. I'm sure an interview with Maciek now would definitely be good. I'm not sure where the camera is or who. Can we not get the camera there? Okay, so well, that obviously that interview will be on Instagram, but we should be having live interviews with the camera. There we go. There's the camera. We'll do that same interview again. He might not be as animated, but I definitely want to speak to Maciek Rakowski. You know, we want to see what happened to Pierre Mortefon. Next start is at 15 minutes past.
And we will go in about, I think,
Jordi, you got the opening win of the day. Talk me through it.
Yeah, it was super tricky. I mean, the first final got cancelled. There I was also first at the first mark and stopped, and I think I dropped to 7th even, standing there for 15 seconds. Happy they cancelled. Second one, I don't know what all happened behind me. I heard there was a bit of carnage. I heard some people screaming, but I had a good wave. I planed out of there, and from there on I was just focused on finding the waves, to keep the plane. I did, and yeah, bullet.
You're pretty out of breath. Is it physical racing out there?
It is. You need to pump a lot. You have to be on your toes kind of the whole time. When it's proper windy, you can fight back and you can still have a good speed below someone. But now not. Like you make this mistake and ciao.
Does that make the start and the first reach, first mark more important?
Yeah. I mean, it always is, but I guess in these kind of conditions, it's even more important, yeah.
Because it looked like once you'd gone round in first, you had a pretty strong lead. You just pulled away.
Yeah, I was still nervous. No, every time you hear a sail flip, and you're like, oh, did he come closer or not? Don't look back, just look forward. And then at the finish line, I look, and I was like, okay, I think it was pretty safe. But again, you know, you can stop out of the plane. The next guy takes the gust or the wave, and they can pass you. So yeah, as you maybe hear a little bit, you know, pushing until the finish line.
And what do you do now to reset for the next one?
I'm gonna check my phone. I hope that my wife is watching the live stream and is not on the way to the hospital. That's the first thing I'm gonna do now. And
because she's pregnant and about to give birth.
Pregnant, 2 weeks still to go, so it could be safe, but there is some signs that it could come soon. So little boy, stay in there. I hope my wife is still seeing this.
Awesome. Well, good luck in the next one, Jordi.
Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know if we're going to have any more interviews, but I'd love to hear from Maciej Rakowski. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up the results in a second. I'm just looking at the updates, and yes, as I was saying, Maciej Rakowski is leading. A third gives him 6 points. Jordi Vonk in second place with a sixth and a first, so just 0.7 behind. Pierre Mortefon in third place, a first and an eighth. Giacchino in fourth place with a second and a seventh. So there's only 3 points separating that top four. And then Ingmar Daudorf in fifth. We've got Bruno Martini in sixth place with 12 points, level with Tati Franz in seventh with also 12 points. Nico Preen in eighth with 13. And then Amado Bruiswijk and then Jimmy Tieme. That's your top 10 at the moment. Obviously, only 2 eliminations sailed. But if we were to stop now, there's no more racing and this counts. I think maybe, it's not maybe, it would be level places for Maciej Rakowski and Pierre Mortefon. And then I think it goes to count back. Maybe Pierre would win because of the amount of races he's won over Maciej. In Furta. I think that's how it would work. But we are going to sail another elimination. There is going to be more action. Have we got any more interviews, or is that it? Okay, so it doesn't look like there is any more interviews. So the next race will start at 5:15. That's in 20 minutes time. So you do have a bit of time to go get yourself a drink, get some food. I will be coming back in about 15 minutes time. And I'll go through the results and all the new eliminations then. So see you in a minute.
In Brookboards, we only use one construction, the premium responsive carbon construction. Compromise of strength, flex, weight and durability. We use unidirectional carbon on the EPS to absorb direct impacts. Then the board gets wrapped in PVC or Airex to make the sandwich construction, 3 mm on deck and 5 mm on the bottom. After that, a full wrap on deck and bottom of Biax Carbon 45 degrees. We use full rail-to-rail band reinforcements for the whole straps area. We have an extra layer from around the mast track to the tail on the deck to give the walking areas extra durability. Plus another additional layer on the bottom of the board to again extend the life of the board if you are an extreme jumper. In Brook boards, we put a lot into development so that our boards perform great and last for many, many years. In Brookboards, we only use one construction, the premium responsive carbon construction, compromise of strength, flex, weight and durability. We use unidirectional carbon on the EPS to absorb direct impacts. Then the board gets wrapped in PVC or Airex to make the sandwich construction, 3 mm on deck and 5 mm on the bottom. After that, a full wrap on deck and bottom of Biax carbon 45 degrees. We use full rail-to-rail band reinforcements for the whole straps area. We have an extra layer from around the mast track to the tail on the deck to give the walking areas extra durability, plus another additional layer on the bottom of the board to again extend the life of the board if you are an extreme jumper. In Brookboards, we put a lot into development so that our boards perform great and last for many years.
Okay, welcome back. Well, red flag is already up on the boat, so less than 4 minutes to go until the start of this third elimination. Yes, here in Tenerife for the Slalom-X Playa Surf CBbC Hotel here in El Médano. It's obviously in South Bay. We are here racing in Cabezzo. Yeah, this is the wave beach on the inside, and then on the outside, as you can see, the Slalom-X boys are out there putting on the show. That is the way the results look after 2 eliminations. Maciek Rakowski leading the way with 2 third places. Jordi Vonk in second with a 6th and a 1st. Pierre Mortefon with a 1st, and it was looking like a 2nd or a 3rd. Third, and then he ended up falling off on that last mark, and he's up 8th. Matteo Iachino a 2nd and a 7th. Ingmar Daldorf 2 5th places. Bruno Martini 10th and a 2nd. So there's a lot of room for moving around with 2 more eliminations, because obviously 2 more eliminations gives us a discard, and then we will see it a little bit more. So it's still early days, but good consistency for Maciek Rakowski so far. So there's Nico Preen in the water over there at the boat. So the word on the street is the race that Nico Preen was leading was a problem with the buoy. So it lost its GPS contacts, and when it loses its GPS contacts, it basically just drifts. And that is the problem with those GPS buoys. You know, they're basically programmed into a GPS coordinate. And then if it obviously loses the connection, and then it just disappears because it doesn't know where it is. And we have to use those boys here in Tenerife. Yellow flag is up, so 2 minutes to go till the start. Neil saying, where do you stay now, Ben? I mean at the beach. Stay at the beach. I'm in the container on the beach watching a TV. Or you mean I'm staying in the hotel, Playa Surf on South Bay, which is obviously the sponsor of this competition. It's a great place to stay. I stayed there last year with my missus and daughter, and it was perfect, absolutely perfect. You know, if your partner doesn't windsurf and you windsurf, your partner can stay at the hotel next to the swimming pool, and then like 2 meters away you can get your gear, go for a sail, come back in, and you're straight next to the pool. So yeah. There's a few late people to this party, but why do you need GPS buoys? They're not allowed to put anchors down because it interferes with the seagrass. And there's been some big problems before this competition. They had to find these buoys, otherwise it was looking like they couldn't do the slalom. So it's been a bit of a whole ordeal to try and sort it all out. Okay, so let's get into it. Elimination number 3. Martini in this one, Rakowski in this one. They're very spread. You can see down that bottom end, someone looked a bit early in the middle, tried to pull up, and they did manage to do it, but they're going to get rolled by the rest of the crew now. So I don't know who that was, but it was definitely someone thinking they were early. It is on one of the Neil Prides. For Maciek Rakowski fans, you're going to hope it wasn't him, but Bruno Martini looking like he's powering down from this top end on that S2 Maui sail, the orange top. You can see him, but on that bottom end, it looks like the Severn of Matteo Iachino. Could be Cedric Board. Cedric Board is definitely in there, but it is Bruno Martini who is the one going to come around this first mark. We need to get a bit of an angle on this so I can see. We're a little bit upwind here. Not so easy to see, but that's a good mark round in from Bruno. Matteo Iachino, Maciek Rakowski, Cedric Board, Jimmy Tieme. Perfect from the drone boy there. That was what we want to see. Nico Preen out of the top 5 at the moment. Not good news for Nico Preen fans, but he's got Jimmy Tieme upwind of him. And that is who he's going to be fighting with. So Nico Preen and Jimmy Tieme are going to have a good battle here. Jimmy's got quite a small board registered. But one thing for sure, Bruno Martini is leading. Goes round this second jibe mark in first place. Then we've got Matteo Iachino, then Maciej Rakowski, Cedric Board, Jimmy Tieme just making it on that swell. Oh, it's a fight, and actually Nico Preen's been overtaken by the other Patrick rider, which looks like Alexander Kuzan. So that battle for fifth is going on. Meanwhile, at the front, Bruno Martini leading, Cedric Board in second. Sorry, Matteo Iachino in second, Cedric Board third, Maciej Rakowski fourth place. These four place riders look pretty comfortable, but as we've seen with this swell, it can all change round very quickly. I don't know if we can wait on this mark with the drone for that battle for fifth and see how it's looking. Bruno Martini round in first place. Then Matteo Iachino, Cedric Board, Maciej Rakowski, and it is on the inside. Jimmy Tieme does go through ahead of Nico Preen. Nico Preen had a nice line, but Jimmy Tieme come out with a lot of speed there, and he's going to stay in fifth place. There really is a real battle hotting up for that fifth place. Nico Preen, Jimmy Tieme, and then the other two Patrick rider, which is Kuzan and maybe Delarue. So they're all at it here. Nico Preen's got his fight on his hands, but he might have just gone up into fifth place. It looks like he's going to take this fifth place, the German. So as we're coming into this mark, we will still have Bruno Martini in the lead. Second place, Iachino, then Board, then Rakowski, and Jimmy Tieme still there as he pushes Nico wide, and it's a great jibe from Jimmy Tieme. Maciej Rakowski in a bit of trouble, but Preen actually getting going right down this bottom end, and he's had a nice line there. Jimmy's had to go with him, and he might have a bit of trouble from Alexander Kuzin here. They're both trying to play with the swell, and I think Nico Preen's done the right thing here. He's bore off on that piece of swell, and Nico Preen has got the edge. He left it till the last minute. Maciej Rakowski nearly got dragged into that battle there for fifth place, but in the end, I think it is going to be the other JP Neil Pride rider, Nico Preen, that is going to take the all-important fifth spot and qualify for the final. But that was a good race from Nico Preen there. He left it late, but managed to get it done in the end. So Bruno Martini, Matteo Iachino, Cedric Board, Maciej Rakowski, and Nico Preen taking the fifth spot. So let's have a look at the replay. I mean, Bruno Martini was absolutely flying. He has got the highest board speed on the Water Speed app so far, 33 knots. PM Mortefon was up there as well. Jordi Vonk also up there. But it is still the Italian. I might have a see of an update. Maybe, I think we'll get an update at the end of the day. But the two Italians are looking good. This was looking good for Jimmy Tieme at this point. Yeah, Jimmy was gone. Actually, it was Delarue who was actually fighting it out. And this is where it went wrong for Tieme. He chose to go up high there. Well, you couldn't quite see it, but chose to go up high rather than bearing off. And that bearing off manoeuvre from Preen was what gave him the win. There we go, just walking in over the rocks. Alex Kuzan, Matteo Iachino. Okay. Heat number 2, elimination 3. Second of the semi-finals. Got Jordi Vonk in this, Tati Frans, Ingmar Daldorf, we got PM Mortefon, Lohan Jules, Marlo Vrieswijk, Stallman. We've got Van der Veen, Giannoli, and Silva. Here we go, lining up. We're expecting Jordi Vonk to be down this bottom end on the right hand side. Tati Frans in the middle, Amado Vrieswijk in the middle on the black sails. And it looks like a good start, clean away. Not a good start from Tati Frans though, good start from Amado Vrieswijk in the middle. Good start from Lohan Jules by the looks of it. Jordi Vonk right down this bottom end. Looks like Daldorf maybe with a good start as well in the middle. Not so easy to tell from this straight on angle. So maybe looks like we got a Neil Pride down that bottom end looking pretty good. I'm guessing that's Pierre Mortefon. It looks like a Stallman actually on that GA. And it is going to be Amado Vrieswijk. He's been flying. Oh, and times that wave perfectly from Amado Vrieswijk. Great jibe from Pierre Mortefon. Look at the jibers there. That just goes to show it's all about nailing that swell. Amado Vrieswijk absolutely crushed that thing. So Amado Vrieswijk, perfect, lining up with that swell. And looking really comfortable on the fin this year. I don't know if he's been putting more work in, but he's looked very good on the fin. Pierre Mortefon also looking good. But it's going to be Amado Vrieswijk who's first into this second mark after a absolutely sensational first jibe. Pierre Mortefon in second place. Then we've got the GA. We've got Lohan Jules. Jordi Vonk stops at the mark. We've got Stallman behind him. We've got Clayton Silva just behind them. Fifth place, not easy at the moment. Jordi Vonk is the man in fifth. You've got to overtake Jordi Vonk to stay in fifth. But at the moment, Jordi Vonk looks pretty comfortable. Out in front, though, Amado Vrieswijk. Nailing it. There we go. Amado Vrieswijk already round. Then Pierre Mortefon. Then we've got Ingmar Daldorf. Then Lohan Jules, that's your top four. Fifth place at the moment is Jordi Vonk. Then we've got Stallman, Tati Frans. Oh, this could be dangerous for Jordi. He's not got away from that mark once again. And Tati Frans is coming down underneath. Some great moves being made here from Tati Frans. It's not over for Tati Frans fans. He's right back in the game now. Tati Frans versus Jordi Vonk. That battle for fourth and fifth, that fifth and sixth. Let's go back to that battle for fifth and sixth. That's where the action is really hotting up. The top four look really clean ahead, but Jordi Vonk in fifth place at the moment has got Tati Frans right on him, and it's going to come down to the last jibe mark. As far as my maths says it, Lohan Jules, who is on your screen, he's already in it. He's in fourth. Stay on that mark. Let's get this battle between Tati Frans and Jordi Vonk, and Tati does get the inside, and he goes for it. Jordi Vonk tries to shut the door, and he does. Jordi Vonk holds off a charging Tati Frans and says, no, Tati, I love you to pieces, but you are not coming through on the inside, and you are not taking my place in the final. Not today, son. Not today. I really thought Tati was going to be able to push him out there. Jordi Vonk held that line down the swell, and it will be Amado Vrieswijk, obviously, who wins it. But that was the battle between Vonk and Frans. Wow. So obviously Mortefon going through, Vrieswijk going through, Lohan Jules going through, Daldorf going through, and Jordi Vonk takes that final spot in a proper battle with Tati there. It could have been a friendship breaker. That was some good job. That great job from Medano Windsurf on that first one. That's what gave him that healthy lead. Pierre Mortefon going super direct. So Windsurf, you know, Mortefon, Daldorf, Lohan Jewel, got to give him some credit. Good race from him to get into the final. He's looked good today. Yeah, watch Tati Franz. I don't know if we're going to have the instant replay on this, but look how far Tati Franz is back at the moment. And then this mark round in from, oh, we're not going to see it, but there is the last jibe mark. Oh, Jordi Vonk holds it off. Okay, so we have a little short break in between that because the winners have to get back up and the losers have to get back up as well. Good race though. That's what I want to see, competitive racing. You know, okay, it's not the crazy wins or the obstacles. We've just got an out-and-out slalom race, but with those swell lines coming through, it does make for some interesting jibes. Dennis says, I bet Tati was laughing at the same time whilst trying to get in. I don't know about that. I'm not sure there was many laughs going on out there. So next up, we're going to have runners-up final and then the final. And then obviously after that, we'll get an update of the results. Ben, how many eliminations are planned? Well, it's a good question. It wouldn't surprise me if they tried to get 4 in total today. So 3 today. This is the second one for today and the third one. But it wouldn't surprise me. I guess it will depend on conditions and whether they do more or that. But I would imagine that's what they'll go for. They've got the boys out there. They've got the wind. You know, it wasn't an early start today, the relatively late start. So they'll push through until they can. But I would imagine 1 more after this. But it could be 2 more. Who knows? It's only, you know, it's only semi-finals and finals, so relatively quick to run through. There we go. That is how the runners-up final is looking at the moment. TMA, Delarue, Sugi, Macker, Cousin, Ginoli, Silva, Van der Veen, Stallman and Franz. And then obviously in the winners final, Martini, Yakino, Board, Rakowski, Preen, Vrieswijk, Mortevon, Daldorf, Jules and Vonk. Looks like Jules has actually stepped up a bit here. Seeing him in a few more finals. Obviously bigger finals here. So, you know, 10 riders in the final. So you will see, you know, an extra couple. Top 10 rather than top 8. I quite like it. 10 in the final. There we go. So there's plenty of wind. The wave boys flying around on the inside. They're hoping to get a few more waves in the next days. Okay, so going out for the start of the runners-up final. Just looking at Julian asking about the phantom comments. I think it's all been addressed online with some statements which were pretty clear. I don't think I need to go into it, but I think you can read what the PWA have put on the statement and say that's factual. They tried to come work it out. It just wasn't happening, wasn't forthcoming. They gave them a lot of time to do it, and it just never happened. So there was only one thing to do. You know, when you're taking all the glory and the using all the stuff and the results, but you're not paying, it's not sustainable when everyone else is playing the game, so to speak. Red flag is up. So, we've got less than 4 minutes to go till this runners-up final, Elimination 3. We're obviously here in Tenerife for the Hotel Playa Surf CBbC Windsurfing World Cup Grand Slam. Yes, El Médano is the place. We're actually at CBbC Beach here, but it's sponsored by the hotel in South Beach, which is just a short 5-minute walk down the thing. Anyone ever been to Tenerife will know. Pretty cool place, you know, especially if you've got like a partner who doesn't windsurf. You know, you're not on this beach in the middle of nowhere getting, you know, gale force 8 blown around all over the place. You know, there is places to go, shops to visit, beaches to sit on without crazy wind everywhere. And meanwhile, the partner that does windsurf, you can do both. And if you both windsurf, it's a bit of everything. There's restaurants and all the stuff around. And like I said, the sponsor of this competition is obviously Bruce Boards as well, but the main sponsor of that hotel, Playa Surf, that is a great hotel. If you are coming, definitely check it out. Definitely worth it. We had a great stay with the family last year. It worked out perfect. My missus was a bit gutted not to come this year, but with the tiny baby, it would have been a bit of a nightmare. But we're already planning next year. It's on the calendar. Okay, yellow flag up on the boat, so less than 2 minutes to go. So nearly a minute when you see that yellow flag go down. There we go, 1 minute to go. Runners up final. Who's your money on here? TMA just missed out. I think Silver just missed out as well. But Delarue, Sugi, Maka, Cousin, Janoli, Van der Veen, Storman, Franz. Franz just missed out, definitely. Ouch. So there's some good riders in this. Here we go. Lining up. Be good if the drone could go downwind, because then I can see who's who a bit easier. But still a nice angle up here. It's just hard to tell who's who. Okay, so it's a good start. I think Tati Fran's in the middle, just bearing down over the top, trying to roll over a few riders there. Tati Fran's pushing hard. Maka maybe up this top end on the Neil Pride, looking good. But Tati France pushing through ahead of Scotty Stallman and Jimmy Tieme, also looking good through the middle. Got Alexander Cousin on the right-hand side. Macker. But Tati France, I think, is going to be the man who's first into this first mark. Such a good image when you see these boys blasting through. Got a cameraman in the water there, but Tati France it is rounding first. Cousin second, then Tieme, then Macker, then Silva, then Stallman. Silva still looking for his breakthrough result on this PWA Tour. He absolutely kicked my ass over in Portugal. And he's getting a bit of a whooping here. So, you know, what goes around comes around. But he'll make it back. He's a strong rider. He's a big fella. Got some muscles. Not the tallest, but he's built. But he'll be looking to maybe push through in one of these races. I'm sure we're going to see him right up there. Tati France in first. Oh! And that might open the door for Silva to come through. Just a little stall there on that exit. But Jimmy Tieme still in second. I think it was Cousin that went down. Macker in third. Silva in fourth. And the fight is on. But at the front, Tati France controlling this. He was unlucky. I say unlucky. He was pushing hard to make the final. We know how good Tati is. So when you see Tati France's name in this runners-up final, you know, it's hard to bet against him winning it. And he's doing his job right now, making the best of his bad situation. Good job from Tati. Jimmy just getting a little wobble on that swell there as Macker comes through. Stallman goes ahead of Silva. But Tati got a great lead here. Looking comfortable. So Tati France rounding first. Pretty solid. Second place Tieme. So this would be 11th, 12th. Macker in 13th. 14th Stallman. 15th Silva. Obviously runners-up final. There's 10 in the final, so the winner here would get 11th. Just in case you're wondering what I'm on about. But Tati France is going to cruise this. Comfortable win in this runners-up final. Like I say, making the best of a bad situation as far as, you know, his level is concerned. He doesn't really want to end up in these runners-up finals. But Tati France with the win. Okay. So there's Tati. Jimmy in second. Macker in third. So 13th. Yeah, and then they were counting him over the line. So it looks like we're going to go into the drones to get a change of battery and then back out for the winners final elimination 3. If Maciej Rakowski could win it, he would stay at the top. But with the results the way they are, we could see a whole shift in results. Here's the replays of that. Looks nice conditions, you know. 7.5 medium board, full power. Well, not full power, but powered up. Some good jibes, some good tight jibes going on. Just trying to pick those lines. Yeah, nice. Good, solid racing. But I mean, the final is where it's at. When we're looking at runners-up final, you know, there's not so much big results going to go on here. But as we get to that final, each place that gets overtaken or makes it through or doesn't could change the overall top three by quite a lot. So these are the boys making it in now. That's Jimmy TMA with the beard. He's been going pretty quick, I've got to say, in the Slalom-X. Jimmy, he's definitely a fin rider as opposed to like a foil first. Tati Franz. And here we go. Out to the winners' final. Martini, Iachino, Board, Rakowski, Preen, Vrieswijk, Mortefon, Daldorf, Jules and Vonk. Vrieswijk looks pumped up. Like I said, he's been having some good results. But we know Bruno Martini on that Water Speed app is the guy who's been leading the challenge. Here we go. Is it a good start? Are they all cleanly away? The green flag is up and it looks good. So who's leading the way? I need to get that drone guy downwind a bit just so I can see the sails. Or upwind, one of the two. The straight on is difficult, but it looks like Amado Vrieswijk is definitely the guy going well in the middle. We've got the prides down that bottom end. Bruno Martini also looking good as Vrieswijk sails down over the top of Jordi Vonk. But it is, you guessed it, Pierre Mortefon powering his way to the front of the pack right now. It could be Nico Preen down that right hand side as well, who's looking good, just trying to hold on to the board as it got a bit squirmy there. But it's Pierre Mortefon, then Bruno Martini, then Nico Preen. Oh, big crash at the back. Mateo Yukina goes through, but so does Amado Vrieswijk. Great jibe, and it could be Maciek Rakowski that went down on that outside. Bad news for the current leader, but good news for the reigning champion and current tour leader, I should say. Maciek was leading this event, but Pierre Mortefon now with a win in this one would put himself back at the top. Still a long race to go. Pierre Mortefon rounding first, then Bruno Martini. Amado Vrieswijk looks good on a nice bit of swell there from Vrieswijk. Then we've got Nico Preen, Jordi Vonk. Looks like it's Mateo Yukino. Then Daldorf. Then Lohan Jules. And it was Maciek Rakowski that went down at that first mark. And Amado Vrieswijk challenging Bruno Martini here. Pierre Mortefon, though, is absolutely storming ahead. Look at Vrieswijk. He's got the speed. I've seen him racing on the sim racer here. He's in the top 1% in the world. If you do any sim racing, you will know that is absolutely crazy. And look at him on a windsurfing board too. Pierre Mortefon's getting a bit caught up here because Vrieswijk had a lovely bit of swell there and it kind of pumped him up onto the plane. This is definitely not all over. This will come down to how the swell lines up on this last jibe mark. Definitely not all over. Keep your eye on this. Pierre Mortefon, reigning world champion, current tour leader. He was dropped down in the event rankings after that second elimination, but he's going to be straight back up there now. A little mistake on the last jibe mark. Will we see a mistake on this jibe mark? That's the question. Pierre Mortefon just needs to keep it together. Amado Vrieswijk behind him. It's a good jibe from Pierre, but it's also a very good jibe from Vrieswijk, but it's not going to be good enough to take any distance. Then we've got Bruno Martini, Jordi Vonk up into fourth place. Then Nico Preen. Oh, great jibe on the inside from Mateo Yukino. He's going to go past Nico Preen there. Lohan Jewel. Actually, Preen's lost a lot of ground, but at the front, it will be the reigning World Slalom-X champion, Pierre Mortefon. A solid race from the Frenchman, stamping his authority on this. He won the first elimination. He crashed out in the second, and he is about to win the third elimination, and he will top the event rankings right now. Pierre Mortefon wins the third. Amado Vrieswijk comes back to get second in the third elimination. Bruno Martini in third. Then we've got Jordi Vonk in fourth, keeping that dream alive. Matteo Iachino behind him. Then a tight one, Nico Preen and Lohan Jules. Then we've got Ingmar Daldorf ahead of Cedric Board, and then Maciek Rakowski further back. So bad news for Maciek Rakowski fans. But a great race from Pierre Mortefon. And there's Maciek Rakowski now just coming over the line as they make their way down through the wave sailors. And here we go, little replay of the race. Good speed, Amado Vrieswijk. He's been looking definitely good on the fin this year. I mean, look at that. He came into that mark in about 5th or 6th place. Oh, Maciek went down heavy on that first mark. Amado, impressive stuff from the Bonairean. Tough conditions, it always is. You know, you've got to get those swells right. You've got to have the speed. And Amado to get over the top of Bruno Martini is impressive. Some good racing. Some good racing. We'll have a look how that affects the overall results as well in a minute once they've been updated. Will take a little bit of time to update them. So I've already heard that the fourth elimination will be coming up in half an hour's time. So we're going to get an interview on the beach. So I don't know if we can get an interview with a couple of the riders, but it's always interesting to hear from different riders. First discard comes in after 4. So I'd imagine there'll be one more elimination for the day, but don't quote me on that. A few people saying, you know, how would Pierre get on with different sails? He hasn't had long to train on them. It doesn't seem to matter, does it? He looks like he's got it all sorted. It's not an official sponsorship. Neil Pride, from what I can understand, are just helping out, lending him the sails. So there's no official sponsorship as such. I mean, it's still a sponsorship of sorts, but it's more like, look, we know you need some stuff. Take this, no problems. I mean, who wouldn't lend Pierre Mortefon gear? I think it's a good move. So we're still waiting for those results. Oh, Jesus. That's one way to come in with a slalom kit on the rocks. My God. Was that slalom? It couldn't have been slalom. It wasn't slalom. That's why. Because it's pretty rocky there. So I don't know. Maybe we're not going to get an interview. Maybe that isn't the case. Okay, well, the next race will be coming up in 25 minutes' time. Okay, oh, we are going to get an interview. Here we go.
Pierre, that's another win. Talk me through the first elimination of the day, though, first.
Yeah, the first one, it's always tricky. The wind is on the edge, and especially on the first one. But it was okay. I had a pretty good first one, which was cancelled because of markdown before drifting. So it's again hard to focus again. And I was third coming to this last jibe, and I was not focused enough, and I felt, but it's done. And then this is why I wanted to be on this last one, and it's great to go for another win.
And then talk me through the last race.
Last race was good. First reach was pretty windy. I had an okay start on the middle. I was going quick, and I felt someone coming In my back was Bruno, so it means we were fast because he's fast. And then I was just focusing on myself. Amado was pushing, but I knew that if I jibe okay, it's okay. So I keep focus on my hand, on my foot, and I was just pushing till the finish line.
Everyone's having mixed results. Does that make it easier or harder?
I don't know. It's hard to sail because conditions are not easy. It's bumpy, wavy, wind is changing, but it's the same for all. So yeah, the plan is just to get as less point as possible.
It was between you and Bruno yesterday on the water speed challenge. How fast are you going today?
Yes, 33.4.
Ooh, maybe taking the lead.
Coming quicker, yeah, but it's fast, this animal.
Awesome, good luck in the next one.
Thank you.
33.4, that's pretty good. That is definitely up there. But as Pierre says, he is fast. Bruno Martini is fast. We've just actually updated the results, so they have coming in. Bruno Martini's got some solid results coming in here. So let's pull up the results. Pierre Mortefont has obviously gone to the top of the leaderboard. There you go. A first and eighth. That was the mistake, but another first keeps him up there. Well, puts him back at the top. 9.4 points. Jordi Vonk with a sixth, a first, and a fourth keeps him in second. Matteo Iachino moves back up into third with a second, seventh, and a fifth. And Bruno Martini, look at those. When that discard comes in, if he can put a good fourth elimination in here, he's going to be looking very good. A second, a third, and that 10th place needs to get rid of that. Maciej Rakowski, another one who needs that discard now with a third, and a 10th. Amado Vrieswijk, fourth, a second, and that 12th. So discards will make a difference, and we're coming up to the fourth race, the fourth elimination. When we have 4 eliminations, you do have a discard, which means you can get rid of one result. You can just wipe it out of your results, and you only count your best 3. And that is after the next one. So that will definitely change a few of those results. There's a few other guys that have been more consistent. So, yeah, let's keep an eye on that. The next race is coming up in 15 minutes' time. So join us then for elimination number 4. Okay, welcome back to this PWA World Cup Grand Slam over in El Médano. Cabezzo Beach we're at, and this is sponsored by Hotel Surf CBbC, and the hotel down in South Bay. And if you are coming to Tenerife, definitely check it out. But we are here with the Slalom-X. This is the beach of Cabezzo, which is obviously better known for wave sailing, but we are here Slalom-Xing it up in a bit of wave slalom action. Although not so much playing in the waves, but we'll talk about that in a minute with the GPS boys. Not quite going to happen, but the plan was always to do it in the waves here. But that is the way the elimination looks. Elimination 4 coming up. We've got Vrieswijk, Martini, Preen, Jules, Rakowski, Franz, Stallman, Ginoli, Delarue and Sugi in this one. All fighting out. Top 5 riders will go through to the final. Second semi-final, Mortefon, Vonk, Giacchino, Dowdorf, Board, TMA, Macker, Silva, Van der Veen and Cousin. Say top 5 riders will go through to the final, and this is the 4th elimination, so the discard will be in, and that will change things quite a bit, and it will be very interesting. At the moment, PM Mortefon is leading with 9.4 points, just 1.3 points ahead of Jordi Vonk in second place, but the discard for Jordi will make a huge difference. He's got an 8 to discard. If he was to do, well, let's say if he does a first in this, he'll be counting 3 first places, and he'd be looking pretty sweet. But a lot of the other guys have been pretty consistent as well. So if Pierre is down in this one, bearing in mind he's not been consistent, anything with inside the top 8, he will count. So if he's 7th, he'll count it. If he's 6th, he will count it. So he can't afford really to mess up too deep. If he's, worse than 8th, then he has to count that 8th place. So there could be some moves coming in, and it will depend on where everyone finishes in this round. The wind isn't, mega strong, but it's pretty good. They're on their big sails, which in Slalom-X is 7.5s-ish, depending on the brand, and their medium boards. But there's definitely wind around, 5.3s, 5.0s, people flying around on wave sailing. So these guys are out the back of the wave sailors. Yellow flag is up. That's less than 2 minutes to go till the start. Anyone want to make some bets for this round? Feel free, make some bets. Who you think is going to win? Will Pierre Mortefon dominate? I mean, a good result here, he will really change it. But because he's got that 8th place, not guaranteed. We know there's a lot of fast boys. Bruno Martini, keep your eye on him. The big Italian has got the speed. He's leading on the Water Speed app challenge. If any of you guys have joined that, I know there's some big wins out there in Europe. So I know Jenna Gibson was actually leading that challenge. Obviously, all the PWA guys are here. They can only sail here. But you guys get to sail wherever you are in the world, wherever the wind is doing. And it looks like you've got plenty of wind out there. But here we go, lining up for this 4th elimination. Heat number 1. Vrieswijk and Franz both in this. And it looks like one of them has got a good start and the other one not so good. I think it's Amado Vrieswijk with the best start in the middle. We got Bruno Martini also looking like a good start for him. Lohan Jewel also looking good. Nico Preen is in there. Maciek Rakowski. This is already shaping up pretty nicely, but Bruno Martini flying. Lohan Jewel flying. Maciek Rakowski, Nico Preen. That for me seems your top 4 with Vrieswijk in 5th at the moment, but it is Bruno Martini, the big Italian, who's going to come through in 1st place. So Bruno, oh, and he's lost it. Bruno's lost it on the first mark. He might be able to salvage that, but it's not looking good for the big man. Oh, he was looking in control. Lohan Jules goes up into the front. Maciej Rakowski's in there. We've got Medano Windsurf, Storman's in there. Tati Franz is in there. Oh, it's a disaster for the Italian. A good result in this elimination. He was right up fighting for the event win. Oh, it's a disaster. He's not coming back from there. Look how deep he is. But look at Lohan Jewel. Has he gone the wrong way? Has Lohan Jewel's gone the wrong way? He's probably for the first time been leading, and he has gone the wrong way. Oh, it's another disaster for Lohan Jewel. Oh, when he works it out, he's going to be absolutely gutted because he was looking good in this one. And that is the difference between leading and following. When you're leading, it's a whole different view. It's not easy to lead these things, so it doesn't happen very often. But there we go. Lohan Jewel is out. The drone guy just getting back into position. It's good news for Scotty Storman fans. Good news for Tati Franz fans. Medano Windsurf looking good. Maciej Rakowski looking good. Where is Nico Preen? But Tati Franz flying over the top of Storman here. Just giving it some. Future fly in 0.7 combo looks good. It is Maciej Rakowski rounding first. Medano Windsurf with a great jibe in second. Then Tati Franz, then Storman, and then I think it's Nico Preen in 5th place. And that would be your 5 riders. Will we see any changes? Lohan Jewel coming bound with his tail between his legs. Be gutted about that. Guaranteed qualifying position, I think. It would have been. Medano Windsurf showing. He has definitely got what it takes within Finn Slalom. Really has. Since he's changed to 0.7 on the Finn stuff, he's gone up a level this year. Again, I'm not sure how much he's been training, but he looks on a different level. So Medano Windsurf, remember the battle is for 5th place. Medano Windsurf rounding first, then Maciej Rakowski, then Nico Preen up into 3rd, Storman in 4th, and it's Tati Franz in 5th place. Will he get it again, or will he get pipped at the post? Oh, it's a good jibe from TMA, I think. Not even TMA isn't even in this. So it's not TMA. It's one of the other Patrick riders, but whoever it is, I think they're too far back. Delarue or Ginoli. Not going to be enough. Tati Franz, I think, is going to get it. Pretty comfortable, I think, in the end. Medano Windsurf for sure going to win it. Maciej Rakowski 2nd. Preen in 3rd. Storman 4th. And it looks like Tati Franz will get that 5th spot. Yep, that is it. 5 riders. A good race, but a couple of big mistakes there. The first one from Bruno Martini and the second one from the other S2 Maui rider, which was Lohan Jewel, just going to the wrong mark. Like I say, it's a different world when you're leading the pack. Yeah, he's going to feel that. Yeah, look at the replay. See what happened to Bruno on that first mark. Oh, that must be gutted. And that was when Lohan went into the lead. And at this point, look at that, healthy lead. Looking good, but here's another look from it from the drone as Bruno goes down on that first mark. Scotty Storman, oh, this was it. That was heartbreak for Lohan. Shane says Lohan just wanted to win the water speed challenge. Went on a bit of a speed run. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, but oh, gutted. Dennis Snow saying swell makes it more exciting. Totally agree. The swell lines is what it's about. If we end up racing in breaking waves, another level again. Okay, 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go till the second semi-final. Right, let's have a look who's in this second semi-final. Mortafon, Vonk, Yakino. Some big names there, isn't there? Daldorf, Board. Not an easy heat to be in. TMA, Macker, Silva, Van der Veen and Cousin. Here we go, lining up to the start. Good start by the looks of it. Good start from Cedric Board, Matteo Yakino, Jordi Vonk, all looking good here. Also got Pierre Mortefon a little bit further back at the moment, but just needs to be in the top 5. Jordi Vonk going quick. Matteo Yakino also looking good. Pierre taking a lower line on the right-hand side of your shot. But looks like Matteo Yakino will be the man leading around this first mark. Jordi Vonk having to settle for second. Pierre Mortefon in third. Then we got Cedric Board, Daldorf as well. But it is the Italian round. Then Jordi. And Pierre Mortefon. Not the best jibe from Pierre. And he's getting overtaken here. Yeah, Pierre's had a bit of a shocker there. He really has. So Pierre in a bit of trouble. He's outside the top 5. But you know how fast Pierre is. It's not, if you're in 5th place now, you do not want Pierre Mortefon behind you. But he is behind. Let's have a look who it is then. So Matteo Yakino round in first. He can't afford a mistake in this one, Pierre. And we got Cedric Board, Jordi Vonk, some quick riders here, all on the swell. Then Daldorf. Oh, Pierre's a little bit further back. Yeah, Pierre is behind Macker here. Keep your eye on that 5th place. It's not all over, but the 5th place is interesting already. Matteo Yakino in first, Cedric Board second, Jordi Vonk, then Daldorf, and then it's where it gets interesting after Daldorf. Because at the moment it looked like Pierre Macker, but he had Pierre Mortefon chasing him down in 6th place. And we, like I said, we know how quick Mortefon is. It wouldn't be surprising to see Pierre Mortefon up in 5th place when we come into this jibe mark. And there he is, on cue. So Pierre Mortefon already up into 5th place. Can't afford a mistake though. Jordi Vonk can't afford a mistake, and Jordi Vonk has dropped back here. He's not been getting out those jibes very well, Jordi, and he's in a bit of trouble here, Jordi Vonk. I mean, it doesn't help. He's got a bad shoulder, so, you know, pumping onto the plane, but he has been struggling getting out of those jibes, and Jordi Vonk is staring a loser's final here. Runners up final if he doesn't make it into the top 5. I think it's Alexander Cousin who's moved up into 5th place now. Pierre Mortefon in 4th. Jordi Vonk has not given up, but it is Alexander Cousin. So Yakino's round, Board's round, Daldorf round, Macker, Pierre Mortefon, then Cousin, then it's Vonk. Let's stay on that battle for 5th and 6th because that's where it's at. Let's have a closer look. It's going to come right down to the wire of the red Patrick sail and the blue duotone of Jordi Vonk. This is Cedric Board. He's easily in. Yakino's won it. Board second. Third Daldorf. We could still have a fight on our hands here. It looks like Cousin's got it, but Jordi Vonk's going to give it a good go. Surely Cousin can't lose this, not from this angle. No, so Board, Daldorf, Mortefon, and Cousin does just beat Jordi Vonk to it. Oh, Jordi is not going to be a happy bunny there. because he needed that discard. He's got a 6th, a 1st and a 4th. A really good result in this 4th elimination would have put him right in the mix. He was in 2nd place, and now he's going to have to counter 6th place. It's not the end of the world, but he will stay on 10.7 points. The others will be able to use their discards now because they've all made it through to the finals. He'll still be up there, don't get me wrong, but he definitely lost that nice advantage. I mean, it does seem like the bigger, faster riders are getting stuck on that inside jibe. It really does look like that. But they are the quickest on the straight. They've got the advantage. So it could be, I don't know, maybe they've got their equipment set up for more speed. And there's other riders that maybe not going as fast, but they've got a bit more grunt. So they're actually getting out the jibes. And they're the sort of different ways of setting up your gear to maximize where you think the potential is. You know, if you set up for speed, you don't get a good start and you've got to plug your way through the jibes. Not easy. Do we know if this will be the last race of the day? I mean, I'm looking at the time. It's 6:30 local time, so I would imagine yes. But you never know. So if anyone can let me know, then we can build up. Yeah, that's not quite been updated yet, so we'll wait for that to get updated fully. Yeah, there we go. Just got updated now. So first will be runners-up final. Delarue, Giannoli, Sugi, Martini. Oh, in the runners-up final. Jules, Vonk in the runners-up final. Ouch. Van der Veen, Silva, Macker and TMA. So this is officially the last elimination of the day. So 2 more heats till the end of the day. We'll have 4 eliminations. We'll get 1 discard. And we will see who will be leading this Playa Surf CBbC Hotel El Médano in Tenerife. Grand Slam Windsurfing World Cup. It's a bit of a mouthful, this title, isn't it? But the sponsors are doing a good job making it happen. So I'll say it again. If you are coming to Tenerife and you want to stay in A1 position, Hotel Playa Surf, the sponsors of this competition, that is the place to stay. So that's still not been updated yet. We need 10 riders in each heat, but it is updated on the website. So, in the runners-up final, we're going to have Delarue, Giannoli, Sugi, Martini, Jules, Vonk, Van der Veen, Silva, Macker and TMA. That is who's coming up. And then we will be having the final, which will be Vrieswijk, Preen, Rakowski, Stallman, Franz, Giacchino, Board, Daldorf, Mortafon and Cousin. And we've also got the PWA race with the Pros Challenge going on the Water Speed app. So if you're not on that, if you haven't entered it, if you've got an Apple Watch, if you've got a Garmin, if you've got a Coros, you can attach it all to the Water Speed app. It's definitely worth doing. Or if you just want to take your phone out in a waterproof case, that also works. But it looks like maybe Simon Pettifer has just put in a 43.7 knots lead in the challenge at the moment. I mean, I'll have to see on the updates later, but looks like the guys up in West Kirby are putting in some speeds right now. It should be absolutely prime. So red flag is up for this runners-up final. Oh, you are joking. I'm just looking at the Water Speed app. Jenna Gibson. Sorry, I'm going to go in reverse order. Second place, Simon Pettifer, 43.7. First place, his missus, Jenna Gibson, 43.8. I mean, she is the fastest woman in the world, but still, when your girlfriend beats you, I don't care who she is, it's still a bit kind. Oh, sorry, 0.1. 0.1. Who's the closest PWA rider? Let's have a look. It was Bruno Martini, and I think it still is until the end of the day today. Bruno Martini here in Medano, obviously, 33.2, and that was from yesterday. So these are the overall results going into this fourth elimination. So Pierre Mortefon has made that final. He's going to be able to discard that eighth, hopefully, if he doesn't have a disaster. Jordi Vonk hasn't made it. So Bruno Martini hasn't made it. Oh, he was looking for that discard, wasn't he? Maciej Rakowski has made it. He's going to be looking to discard that 10th place. Also, Amado Vrieswijk, good result for him, would look to go up there. So we'll update you on that at the end of this race. Okay, yellow flag is up. Billy says they've had 50 knots plus wind at West Kirby today. Gusts around Scotland went over 70 and 80 miles an hour. Yeah, plenty of wind. The thing is, with that speed stuff, you need the right angles and all sorts. But to be fair to these boys, they're on their 7.5, 7.6s, 7.4, 7.8s, whatever the mid-7 sail they've got is. And they're on the medium slalom boards. They're doing 33.5 knots, I think Pierre said he had today. Pretty quick. That is pretty quick in these type of conditions. All right. Getting closer. Well, you'd probably have to bet on a Jordi Vonk or Bruno Martini win here. Both of the top boys are in this runners-up final. Both will be looking to take the 11th place. You never know when you're going to need it. You know, usually if you're in that runners-up final, you can still bag an 8th. Whereas now, the best you can do is 11th because we've got 10 riders in the winners' final. So here we go. Good start on the top end on the Neil Pride. Oh, good start down this bottom end from Jordi Vonk on the duotone. looking very fast. Bruno Martini coming out the middle as well, though, looking equally as fast. And Lohan Jewel, who went the wrong way in the last one. So those front three who we were expected to see in the final are going head-to-head here. And Bruno Martini is an absolute animal, but so is Jordi Vonk. But Lohan Jewel, don't count him out on the top end. Lohan Jewel could surprise a few here. He's got a better line coming into this jibe, and I think it is going to be the young Lohan Jewel from Guadeloupe, but his teammate Bruno Martini is not backing out, and Bruno nearly bogs it again. Jordi took an inside lighter line, and he's actually come out much better. Bruno was having to slam on the rail there and just couldn't get it to bite by the looks of it. Under pressure on the legs, but Jordi Vonk takes the lead. A really good showing from Lohan as well, though, hanging on with two of the fastest riders in the world. So that just goes to show the potential of Lohan Jewel. Keep your eye on him, definitely over the next years. He is really one to watch. We're going to see him have a breakthrough year at some point. I'm sure of it. The more Slalom-X we see, the more fin racing we see, Lohan Jewel is definitely one to watch. But at the moment, Jordi Vonk leading this runners-up final. Lohan in second place. Then we've got Macker in third. Oh, I just jibed on the top of that swell. That wasn't nice. Not what he wanted. We've got Van der Veen in there and a bit of a crash behind. Oh, dear. Was that Bruno going down again? I'm not sure. I actually didn't even see. I just saw a big crash. I can only guess of who it was. But Jordi Vonk, look at this. This is why the guy makes finals. Look at the speed of this fella. Absolutely flying with clean water ahead of him. Second place, we've got Lohan Jules. Then we've got Macker. Then we've got a few of the Patrick boys. Not easy to tell the difference between the Patrick boys. But who have we got? Delarue, Ginoli, all in this. We've got Van der Veen as well from the Netherlands. Is that a family relation to Femke Van der Veen? Maybe a brother? Husband? No, I'm joking. I don't know. Am I joking? I don't know. Same name. Maybe a brother. Dad. But Jordi Vonk, no doubt about this, though. Look at this. Absolutely flying. He didn't want to be in this runners-up final. And, I mean, look at the distance from the third-place rider. I mean, that just goes to show why he is challenging for event wins here. But Lohan Jewel sticking with the Flying Dutchman. Not an easy task. But Jordi Vonk might have that water speed challenge. May as well go for it. Got clean water ahead of him. Mid-30s is the target. Mid-33s, I should say. Yeah, I'm hearing from Lars that it is Femke's brother. You never know. You know, Van der Veen could be like a Jones or a Smith back in England, but you never know. But Jordi Vonk wins it, so 11th place for him, 12th place for Lohan Jewel. And Lohan, give him some credit there, staying with the big man pretty much all the way to the end. Impressive stuff. Like I said, I think we're going to see a breakout from that fella at some point. And we've got Macker, followed by one of the Patrick boys, followed by Van der Veen. The swell tactics. I'm looking forward to this final. That's what I'm looking forward to. Just finishing up with this runners-up final. But next up, we are going to go to the winners' final. There he is. Jordi Vonk still smiling. He won't be smiling if he finds out that baby's on the way out. I'm joking. It's still there, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. 2 weeks. D-Day. Oh, Bruno. He went for the whip. Like, I think that's what cost him. That jibe there, by trying to hit it first and hold that speed, I think it cost him a lot. And then he must have gone down at that next mark. That must have been the splash we saw. I mean, I don't know if we're going to see it now because he was already back in about 6th place already, but I think it must have been. But he had a very good chance to pull up the rankings. He's going to be gutted with that. He's a happy chappy though, Geordie. Rarely a miserable sod. You know, we all have our moments, but I swear to you, don't often see him not smiling. He's similar. It must be the Dutchies, actually. Always quite chirpy. Red flag is up on the boat. You wait till that baby comes out after a week or two. Not that I've gained PTSD. Okay, let's build up for this final because it's big. This is the 4th one. Discard comes in. Could see some big movers and shakers. If people results don't go the way they wanted here, we could see a big switch around. So yeah, lots to play for here. Vrieswijk in this, Preen, Rakowski, Storman, Franz, Giacchino, Board, Dowdorf, Mortafon and Cousin. Who could be the big movers? Obviously, as bad as it sounds, Mortafon could be the big mover here, whichever way it might be. If he was to get a disaster, well, he wouldn't move that much, actually. He's got 2 first places, but he could move the other way. If he gets a good result, he could be very, very difficult to beat here in Tenerife. He's got 2 first places and an 8th. Jordi Vonk is obviously not in this. He will be on 10.7 points no matter what. So Pierre Mortafon will finish ahead of him no matter what because he already is ahead of him. So whatever he gets here is irrelevant, but he can get further ahead. Matteo Giacchino, a 2nd and a 5. He wants to get rid of a 7th. So Giacchino needs to finish better than 7th. He wants a win, really, if he wants to have a chance of winning this thing. Bruno Martini doesn't make this final. Maciej Rakowski, 2 third places and a 10th. So he needs a good one here, Maciej. Really does. Amado Vrieswijk, a 4th and a 2nd, and he's got a 12th, so he needs a good one here. And then as we go down, it gets a little bit more consistent, the results. You know, Ingmar, Preen, Tati, they can't move as much. So, Giacchino, Rakowski, Vrieswijk, Mortafon, they're the kind of players here who could make some big gains or not so much. Okay, let's see if we can spot out where they are. We've got 0.7 down this bottom end. Vrieswijk, maybe. No, Vrieswijk's up the top. It looks like Tati Franz has gone pin end. So Tati Franz down this bottom end. Don't usually see him down the pin end. Interesting. Matteo Giacchino again right up next to the boat. Interesting. So Tati fancies his chances down here. Has he nailed it? Maybe he has, you know. Although up the boat end looks like a big advantage. Tati Franz was way off the line there. Could have been 10 metres ahead, but he's had a good start, Tati Franz, down this bottom end. He's giving up a bit of downwind down the swell, but sometimes it can work out. Maciej Rakowski looking good. Preen looking good. Mortafon also looking good. The 3 Pride boys. Matteo Giacchino as well. But Tati Franz down this pin end, even though he wasn't right on the line, he's looking great. It's a good angle to come in from. It just makes the jibe a little bit more tricky. But Preen pushing Maciej Rakowski hard. Pierre Mortafon pushing down from the top. Then we've got Matteo Giacchino looking to go from the outside to in. And it is going to be Pierre Mortafon shutting the door. Tati Franz trying to push inside. Maciej Rakowski pushed him out. And Preen gets a great jibe on the inside. It's advantage Nico Preen for me. Great jibe from the German. Good jibe from Mortafon staying out of trouble. There's a few guys parked up. Maciej Rakowski's come out a bit worse in that exchange. Just got a bit pushed on that jibe. and that just didn't help him. He wasn't able to control his own jibe. And at the front, it's Pierre Mortefon once again, the Frenchman, the reigning Slalom-X world champion, current event leader. He is pushing for another first place. Is he making it boring? Is he too good? I don't know. He's absolutely dominating right now. Pierre Mortefon gets round Preen though. Good jibe from Preen. He's going to get a bit of a run on him here. There's a bit of swell and Preen's going to get the first mover. So Preen has a chance to win. He's had a few cancellations from winning positions. Could this be the German's race? Could this be YouTube going crazy? He's got a lot of fans out there. Nico Preen fighting it out with a fellow teammate, we have to say right now. He's not sponsored, Mortefon, but he is using Neil Pride Sails in this event. But Nico Preen has shown he's got the skills. He showed he'd got the speed earlier. He's got 2 jibe marks to go, and he's got a healthy looking lead. Mortefon just needs no mistakes. A second place would be great. He doesn't need to worry about Nico Preen right now. Nico with a great jibe there though, keeping the dream alive of an elimination win. Not a great lot of wind out of that mark as Tatifran pumps his way out. Vrieswijk pumps his way out. And Preen extends his lead over Pierre Mortefon. Surely this is the win Nico's been looking for. Surely it has to come right now. He has just got such some distance on the second and third place riders. Tatifran has put some work in here. Pierre Mortefon has dropped back. We've got 1 jibe mark to go, but it is the German El Presidente of the PWA that is going to go round the last jibe mark in first place. Surely he can't mess it up from here. Just needs to stay high. A little bit of a wobble on that rail, but makes it round clean. Mortefon on the next swell. Then we've got it's Vrieswijk in third, Tati Franz in fourth, Matteo Iachino in fifth, then Maciek Rakowski, then Cedric Board. And then I can't count, but out in front, Nico Preen is going to take the win, surely, of this 4th elimination on day number 4 here in Tenerife for the Hostel Playa Surf CBbC Windsurfing Grand Slam. Tenerife, this is how it's looking. Nico Preen has been sailing here for a while. He's been training here. He's been putting the work in. And he has finally got that victory that he has definitely deserved. What a win that is for Nico Preen. Great performance. You know, didn't have it easy. Had Pierre Mortefon right with him. Mortefon extends to a massive lead for this event and getting one hand maybe on the world title with the way that forecast is looking. Matteo Iachino a little bit further back there, sandwiched in between Vrieswijk and Tati Franz. Then we see Rakowski going over the line. And then we've got, looks like Dowdorf, Board, maybe Cousin, Storman. But that is what Mr. Nico Preen would have wanted. He's going to be spending a fair bit of time here in Tenerife. It was a good one down the pin end. Definitely pin end bias. If Tati had been on the line, he would have been first round, I'm pretty sure. But that Tati and Maciek getting a bit tight on that jibe made it really difficult for Rakowski to do that jibe. And then he was a sitting duck. Couldn't get the rail in, and you just have to sort of bobble. Yeah, this was when Nico did the damage on that outside jibe, got the swell right, bore off, and then he did some real damage on this inside jibe. He just pulled out. It looked like Mortefon was struggling to get out the jibes, and Nico's been doing well all day, actually. Not easy in those light patches, but Nico flying. And that what it is. Make it round that last jibe. You're home and dry, so to speak. Bam. Happy with that. So there we go. Just walking in. We're going to go straight down to interviews on the beach. Sarah Jackson.
Yeah, actually first win on the fin because the last one was on the foil. So yeah, I'm stoked to pull it off, especially after today. I kind of did it once and then it got cancelled, so yeah, I just want to let it sit in for a while.
Pop your gear down, let's step around and let's talk about it. It was an incredible victory. Pop it down here. You led pretty much from the start, But what did you think when you went round that last mark and you pretty much stopped?
It didn't feel like stopping for me.
Looked like it.
No. I had a good wave and I saw that I had a good lead. So risk management, don't push too hard and just take it easy from there. But I didn't lead from the beginning because I think 2 or 3 guys went in front of me into the jibe, and I pulled up behind them and I took the inside. I thought for once I'd do something different in the jibe, and it paid off.
And then you overtook Pierre. What was that feeling?
Yeah, I guess the waves lined up for me, and it's he's a tough guy to overtake. He has kind of the most experience here, so it feels good.
He's also now your teammate pretty much. Going head to head, same gear, rolling him underneath. Talk me through that.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cool to have so many prides in the top 10 here, and to show that we can perform and deliver, and then fighting with the ball. You kind of have in the back of your head that he has the same gear and you know what the gear is capable of. So it was a tough fight, but all good.
Talk me through the emotions right now.
I don't know. I have to let it sit in for a while.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, there we go. Nico Preen, happy boy. First win ever on the fin. Like I say, you've been won on the foil for the first time this year, I think it was. And now he's had a win on the fin, and it feels pretty good, you know. You can see. There's the missus. She works down in the centre, down in Hotel Playa Surf. I don't know if the centre's got a different name, but it's attached to the hotel. So, yeah, I'm sure he's going to be spending a bit of time here in Tenerife. He already is here quite a lot, but maybe a bit more now. Who knows? But, yeah, so we're going to get the results up when they've updated. I'm not sure they've updated yet, but as soon as they've updated, we will bring them up and see how it has shifted the overalls. We should have 4 eliminations on the results if they have been updated. Yes, they've been updated, and there's literally only one leader right now. Wow. And look who's in second place. Should we do a spoiler alert? Look at the view though. You can see that. That is Cabezzo Beach there, and then South Bay just behind. So we've got Cabezzo, which is the wave spot before I go into the results, and then on the corner you've got the harbour wall, another wave spot, and then down in South Bay, which is basically the free ride section. That is where Hotel Playa Surf is. So the hotel that is sponsoring this event is in the other bay, and this is kind of one of the famous wave spots of Tenerife. But such a great view from that drone. So there we go. That's the results. Yes, Pierre Mortefon, amazing lead at the top. First, and a second. So 3.4 points. Discards the 8th. Amado Vrieswijk up into second place. 4th, 2nd and 3rd on the fin. Amado Vrieswijk, interesting. Really good to see that. Jordi Vonk in 3rd place, discards that last result but counts the others. And then in 4th place, Matteo Giacchino gets a 5th in the last one. So he's discarding a 7th on 12 points, then equal points with Maciek Rakowski.
Pretty good. I did not expect that at all. I mean, I know that I had a good result today. It was a shame of the first one, but the confidence was there. I had good starts today. The first reach was a bit tricky for me always, but even in this last final, I think I came from that last to 3rd. So the jibes are there, the acceleration is there, the racing itself is there. So pretty stoked.
What's the secret today?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, what's the setup?
The whole day on the 107, the 7.8 and the 37 fin. Felt great. I did land a bigger fin from Jordi, so thanks to him. And since then I'm flying. So.
And now you overtook him in the rankings.
Yes. Oh, where is he? I want to see him.
Is he going to steal it back for tomorrow?
I don't know. It's very tricky. You can see even Jordi, he was leading by a mile, and then the second in the semi he was not there. So it's all about timing with the swell. It's not easy out there. You need to time it well. Also, sometimes I pass the mark to stay on the swell, to keep going. I think I did the same now with Matteo, and I'm passing from below in the final. So these are all stuff you have to take in consideration.
You're a guy that's kind of focused more on the foil recently. Yeah. Now to be doing so well in the fin, have you really been training it, or is this?
I've been only on Bonaire for 3 weeks, and I think I did 8 sessions with Tati, and Tati is one of the fastest guys, so it's always good to train with him. But like the sail, I unrolled it yesterday, so it's working.
I guess they're working straight out of the bag.
Yeah, straight out the bag.
Tell me what it is.
It's the 0.7 racing sail, 7.8. Easy as that.
seems to be working. We're going to have a talk to the event winner. He stood behind, leader, sorry, Pierre.
Make me focus on the last jibe.
Good, huh?
You had some good battles with Medano today?
Yeah, I always have some advance, but he always coming back in my ass. So now it was good. It was good to finish the day like this. I was sticky a little bit on the second jibe, and the first jibe I hit super hard the mark, and they are stiff. It was okay, but then I arrived a little bit low on the second one, and Nico had a good jibe. But then when I saw it was him, it was a little bit different. I wanted to focus on the point too. And then, yeah, 1 and second, plus a discard, it's okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a good day. It puts you quite a long way up top.
Yeah, but
it
could be way better, but it's like this.
When you had that bad race to start with, how did you reset?
Yeah, like you said, it's reset. It's like if we start a new day, I know it's going to be a long week, so for sure there will be mistakes. The goal is to make the less mistake as possible, but the other one are doing some mistake. It's tricky out there. It's not easy. It's wavy, bumpy. The wind is changing. You sometimes can start on the pin, sometimes at the boat. So it's really not easy. And the level, honestly, it's super high, and you can go quick out.
Is it some of the most technical, tactical racing you've done for a while?
Yes, it's special because I think in the past when we had 3 boards, like big board and bigger sail, we could sail on a bigger gear, and it makes things a bit different, a bit more powerful, but it can help on the mistake. Now with the gear we have, you have no room for mistakes, so it's important to have the good angle, the good wind, and once you are covered, it's super hard.
Congratulations on a great day, and good luck for the rest of the week.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
Back to Ben in the studio.
Yeah, there we go. Interesting stuff. I like listening to Amado as well, saying that, he's going past the mark, jibing on the swells, and you can see he's one of the best guys around the marks. I said it earlier, he races on the sim, and you see him. I went go-kart racing with the other day. The guy is an absolute machine when it comes to racing. He's just on another level, and it's really interesting how serious when he gets into it, he's solid. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how far he can push. Obviously, Pierre Mortefon, I think we don't need to say anything more on that fella. He is absolutely destroying it right now. One mistake today has cost him, and you can say that hurts him a little bit, but still, first, and a second. Pretty solid, that is for sure. Interesting also what Pierre said about he saw it was Nico, and he's like, okay, it's not so, because Nico isn't challenging for those top 3 places. So that place is like, well, I can let it go, and it's not going to hurt me. I don't want to push and try and beat him and then make a mistake, and then I lose much more, which is what happened in the first one today, because he was in 3rd place around the last mark. I mean, it would have been a pretty incredible day. So Pierre Mortefon looking very good. Amado up in 2nd, which is great to see. Jordi Vonk after that last mistake, but still stays in 3rd. Yukino 4th, Matchek 5th. Preen moves up into 6th place ahead of Bruno Martini of, what could have been if he'd have made it into that final. Bruno. Tati Franz 8th, Daldorf 9th, and Lohan Jewel in 10th place. I have enjoyed the racing. Let us know in the comments what you think of the racing today. It's not been the full crazy power jumping over sausage stuff, but I think it's been super technical. Like Pierre said, you can't make any mistakes. You've got to be fully on it. You can't relax for a minute. You've got to get the swell right. They're going quick, 33 plus knots. Good day. So thanks to everyone for tuning in. That is it for day number 4. Join us tomorrow for day number 5. Will we get in the waves? Will we see the juniors? Will we see the masters? Will we see the pro men or pro women? Or will we be doing Slalom-X once again? You will have to tune in to find out.